Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You pretty much just feed a puck. You know, you get coiled, you get clicked, you're gonna die.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Even more so in this patch than others, right? Where you've got the Witchblade as added damage on the puck. Your combo doesn't kill him, then just a single right click adds like almost a 300 damage nuke in there.
Yep. Thing to note though is that the Mickey Void went for a Mask of Madness, whereas Focus is rushing a Battle Fury. So yeah, it's a gold lead for Liquid, but they're investing in the now. Brame looking later for their power spike.
So for you to judge Liquid's game as being like successful, you would need them to like take some towers soon or something like that, right? If you're investing in the now, you want to see now outcomes.
The trouble is that their draft really doesn't take towers naturally. It's about, you know, we'll get 3-4 kills.
Yeah.
We'll click the tower as 5. That's their MO.
Yeah, they essentially have to kill and kill and kill. And maybe get a tower. You see that reflected in just the kill score, 4 and 12. Yule Scepter for the Death Prophet, that'll be really big. Brame stacking more than they were the previous 2 games. They're actually kind of keeping pace with Liquid.
Stomina is also just newly hit 6.
Stadia, they're gonna spot him. The silence goes out first. Now the Inkswell, Taiga. Oh, the Stampede away. Run, 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 run. He's gonna be able to dodge some of that, but Koifa's there on the other side to try and catch up. Samael is pushing out some damage onto Wish right now. He gets purged off, so the Witchblade not gonna do as much. Brame didn't pop Exorcism or anything, just the Stampede, so it's not like they blew anything massive. Skylark, what's he doing on this side? They've got a Chronosphere if they want to try and keep him in place. Allies are making their way over. But Mickey, he doesn't feel the need to. They've got the coil. That's good enough.
Sumail now with a Blink Dagger. Thought he was considering buying bots. Seen Abed do that a few times. Just play map control. But taking the more active route. And yeah, it's tough game for Brame. Like, their team fight's great, but they don't really have any initiation or true catch. Stomina is 0-4-2, not having a good time at all, and there's a Puck Earth Spirit constantly hunting him. TP coming in from Skylark, but they're going to see that.
Oh, nice packs. Taiga, he's tanky, no doubt, especially with the raindrops there, but it's still a finger of death. Put him in the grave.
We got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him, and we got a Battle Fury, too. So that's complete for the Juggernauts. Their big tower's still up. So this timing, not too bad. Not too bad for Brame at all.
Yep. An immediate Triple Ancient stack, that always does feel good. The big downside is just that, again, they'll have the Blink on Centaur. That's up next. 50 gold away. Just how do you take fights? That's the big concern.
Whoa. Jesus, the male's here with the double damage. That's why Mickey pulls the trigger in an instant. And now, okay, purging off the double damage. That'll certainly help you out here, but Skylark is in some trouble. He gets run down by the Taiga Koifa combination. Stomadin does manage to get the hacks onto Samael. He's getting quite low, but Spartan, he's not able to do quite enough damage, and Witch doesn't want to be able to break the coil. Koifa's going to be able to Inkswell himself out of here. The coil, it finally fades, so Witch can back up with a freshly healed up Death Prophet, but unfortunately, he can't stick on to anybody. They lose the mid tower in the process. Kyle, this is getting real dark and gloomy now for Brame.
Liquid playing their draft.
All right, we definitely got to ask him. I feel like there's history between Koifa and Wish or something. There's something going on here for sure.
Did they tip him in the last game?
When we were talking about the Taiga tip?
Yeah.
That's the last time they tip him, but I don't remember tipping in the previous game now.
Neither do I. Huh. This is the heat map you love to see. Just an extension of the mid lane. Sumail asserting dominance across his domain. Now with bots about to be en route, Liquid, the slaughter will not stop. This is the game plan. Control enemy jungle, control vision, and just kill these Brame supports specifically. It is near impossible to play Lion at this stage because you just can't live. Anything on top of you, you're forced to spam spells just to buy a little bit of space. A Juggernaut with the Battle Fury Rush, you can't help. You're just farming for a couple more items before you really want to get involved. At least level 2 Omni Slash is a necessity.
Bottom lane here. It's the Finger of Death. It's not quite up. He needs 15 seconds. If they had it, they could try and go for this kill. It'd still be a bit difficult. He's got 1,500 HP, closer to 1,700 when he moves over to Strength.
I like the build a lot. I think if he goes Battle Fury, he can't be nearly as active. That kill on Jug certainly doesn't happen.
Yeah.
The Maelstrom into the Sange for the status resist. You really don't die as Void in this game if you just live through that stun lock.
Oh, Mickey's gonna come back. Now they can go. Skylark spotted for a moment. They've already thrown up the stun. Impale follow-up, and the Finger of Death. Is it enough? Yeah, they got him. They got him indeed. The Hex was there at the end. So a big kill that Brain was very patient to be able to get, but the rest of Liquid, they want revenge, and they have immediately found Wish. No hope for him to get out of this one alive. Focus does manage to bring down Insania with the Omni Slash. He's got to spin TP out, though, to survive.
It's very odd. Wish had a Yols up that entire time, just didn't cast it. Might not have saved him, but it could have helped.
Foiled by himself, Samael reading the Impale incoming. Managed to phase shift that, but nothing will really come of his initiation. Skylark actually kind of wants to go back in. He's got the heal from the Oracle anyway.
Yeah, you can see the Liquid situation is definitely solid, but Brame are very much in this game. Liquid's like they have to be in this position if they want to win.
Yeah.
They need a significant kill lead. They need map control because they don't have any natural method of ending the game. There's no huge spike. It's just our heroes will get farm, we'll kill you, we'll buy more items. Meanwhile, Brame, the BKB window on Death Prophet, Juggernaut getting more levels of Omni Slash and continuing to scale faster because of that Battle Fury purchase. He's neck and neck with Mickey and has now surpassed him. We'll look to see him expand on that lead.
Insania, depending on your perspective, either wrong place, wrong time, or right place, right time. He breaks the 4-man smoke, but he does lose his life and his ward.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Probably saves Mickey there, though. So we'll call it worth. Whenever I see a 5-position die alone, they broke a smoke, they placed a ward, you know what? Worth. Value.
You wish you didn't lose your ward, but...
Yeah, the ward hurts.
They love you.
The ward hurts. They're thinking about mid. They do have the kill potential.
All right, so Kyle, speaking of this draft specifically, you're saying Liquid, they need a way to be able to find more objectives. The biggest one is Roshan. How are they able to do that? Because their lineup
kill the enemy team. You just kill them
over. Okay. Just kill them, lol.
That has seemed to be the game 3 Liquid strat a lot of the time. Is just, you know, they. Aiden and I have spoke many times. Rule number 1 of Dota 2 drafting: gotta have stuns. Last game, not enough stuns.
Was that not a Han rule?
That was it was Han. It goes back in the game. You gotta have stuns. Don't not have stuns.
Swell. May not want to be able to step to Koifa. He is getting low, though. The Exorcism's doing a lot of damage. They do manage to bring him down. Liquid, they did not have enough to back him up, or maybe they didn't expect Brame, all 5 of them, to be at this bottom tier 2. But Brame is saying, no, you're not taking any tier 2s for free.
Well, Liquid, they don't have the team fight. They have the skirmish. You can't go on a Death Prophet when you don't see the Oracle, especially if his ult's already running. Doesn't matter how much you lock him down, those ghosts are still going to be dealing damage.
Now, what if the Exorcism is gone? What if you initiate on somebody else the silence into the Inkswell stun and a 3-man Chronosphere? That's going to be a lot. The Juggernaut is still survived thanks to the Fate Edict, but now a Bash comes in at the right time and turnaround stun. A 2-man set with the Omni Slash allowed to be able to go off. It's bouncing over, but ultimately he dies without getting a kill. Her Spirit's low, though, and it looks like Wish should be able to pick up that one, but the Coil is going to make sure the Centaur's not going anywhere. Mickey rushing in to the left with Samael joining him with the Inkswell stun on a 2. They've locked them both down with the support dead. It's just Wish. He bought back for that, right? Or did he?
No.
Okay.
But he did not have Exorcism, so that's how Liquid do it, right? They bait Koifa. Did Koifa buy back? No, he just respawned. Okay,
just respawned.
That was just 4 on 5, pretty much. Yeah, but they wait or bait the Exorcism by throwing a body at it, and a great chrono from Mickey. You see him immediately identify, oh, I got Oracle too, and they kill off Oracle first. Jug gets Omni off, but wasn't able to spit. Didn't drop Healing Ward during it.
Yeah, he got so low, he was just like, get off this Omni Slash, and just
That was that.
he had no HP when he came back.
Yeah, Stona did not get off his finger either. Does have the Philly Stone though, so should have Blink up shortly. But so far, it's just the Sumail show. 904, Ags on the way, 500 gold off. He is feeling himself, and at this level of farm, especially with that Arcane Rune bottle, like he can just straight up take over this game at this point.
And you said Liquid, their lineup just comes down to kill, 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 kill. Skylark, you spotted him. He's over there. Mickey's gonna jump to the other side, but the damage has already been done. He's been caught by the coil. So you can see Stoneman. He just says, my Centaur is dead. I'm gonna make sure I stay alive. Liquid, they finally may have killed enough to be able to take a tier 2.
Yeah, they are in a very strong position now. Koifa has his BKB. Mickey again finding the cloak, man. That is such a good item in a game like this, or the shawl. When you already have so much base armor, thanks to being an agility hero, a free 25% magic resist is pretty nuts.
Combine that with the status resistance he has from the Sange, he can very fearlessly just time walk in like he did against that Centaur. He seemed to not care at all if there was a line.
It's also super fit. You have Bash is their magic damage, and the Maelstrom procs. So even a little bit of Spell Amp's not bad.
True. SNY complete now for the Juggernaut. The problem is Liquid's getting enough kills that the Void is staying ahead of the Juggernaut despite the Battle Fury build.
Yep. It's the Sumail, well, the puck factor. The fact that they got so many kills to start. There's the BKB on the DP, but Liquid, their strength in this game is pace.
All right. That same ward, caught them before, so Smart knew about it, but Liquid making sure to protect their vision.
If Brame, or rather Liquid, was willing to take a fight more revolutionary war style, you know, line up and walk at us, that'd be Brame's, they'd be happy with that, but they're not giving it to him. It's just constant pickoffs in and out. Brame want an opportunity to land a couple stuns, pop the DPL to Omni, like a controlled fight in as small of an area as possible. Liquid want to use as much space as they can get.
And that guerrilla warfare becomes more and more deadly as Brame become more desperate to be able to get out on the map and be able to find some farm somewhere. Right now it feels like the triangle is the only place that's safe for them. Gonna go Scotty, third item for focus.
The game gets very spooky now though because of that Ags on puck. It's the reason this hero still is dominant across and picked in all regions. There's really just nothing to answer this coil.
Cane Rune for Sumail as well with his level 18. This is a huge power spike, and Liquid immediately are going to smoke up and use it.
Chrono's ready.
They don't have Koifa, but he's on his way.
He's going to show mid.
They have the new Inkswell shard. Doesn't quite get given out right away. Goes over to Taiga, and he does mental hand into the Juggernaut, who's silenced up for a second. Focus, he'll be okay, but their supports may not be so lucky. Actually, Stampede does get him away, and Liquid, they say that's great. They popped Stampede, they popped Exorcism. If we just get out, that's a win.
Really heads up by Liquid. Again, just play around the cooldowns. Don't take a fight into a prepared Brame. Poke and prod him. Get the cooldowns. Get out. Liquid, they're not running on a clock. Like, they're always ready to go. Low CDs on all spells. And now they can freely take Roche. Yes, Chronosphere, but he didn't use it. That's their ace in the hole.
It feels like in some ways Brame should have been more aggressive there. Like when they pop BKB, Exorcism, and Stampede, like, now it's not the time to back away from a fight. Now's the time to take one.
Yeah, they did catch a really nice silence on Mickey. I thought they might turn for him there. If they can go for, like, there's no save for the Void. If they take him out, yes, Sumail's damage can be annoying, but it's not enough to kill anybody.
They're already on the other side of the map. As they were doing Roshan, they went fishing for kills, and they caught a big one, boy. Focus.
Lost focus, lost his life. Mickey, no bash.
Bashed immediately afterwards.
That's how it goes. Courier hunting. Don't think they'll find it.
You can see Brame, they're just trying to find any farm they can. The Centaur in his This Oracle Spartan, he's just chilling out in the triangle, taking this farm away from them. Things get dicey, they can blink and stampede away. But in the meantime, they don't have a way
Dire are scanning.
to hold areas against Liquid's constant incursions.
Yeah, the builds, like Taiga has Hood Vanguard. It's just, they recognize Braim's damage is
Radiant's middle tower is under
somewhat
attack.
limited. It's really reliant on cooldowns, the Omni Slash, the DP ult, so this allows them to play just insanely aggressive. I feel like we've seen nearly every fight start with a Taiga roll.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Skylark, Stampede, but the coil's there. They'll immediately kick him out of it to make sure it snaps. And Shdomanen on the other side of the map is also caught. Nikkei will collect that kill as well. So another 2 freebies for Liquid as they now sitting at 13,000 net worth lead. They've got the outposts. They've got the rest of these tier 2s to take.
You can see the smiles on cam too. They're feeling themselves. Definitely feeling confident. They still are just holding on to this chrono. Aegis as well on Nikkei. So now it's just a matter of collecting towers.
Constantly healing up focus preemptively here, but he's been silenced so many times. The Chronosphere is going to be used here. They're going to start sapping away on his damage. The Ghost is going to land shortly after, but he does manage to get the spin off first. But the Healing Ward, it doesn't keep him alive. Mickey does a bit too much damage. They don't have a buyback for him, so Liquid is looking like Elena Barracks now as Mickey just casually jumps in, gets off the time dilation. They actually wanted to be able to jump in onto Samael, but Samael dodged the damage. He dodged the hoof stomp. Shdomanen doesn't get off the Hex in time. He turns around and throws it onto Taiga with the Exorcism. Maybe enough to actually kill the Yule Scepter to prevent him from being able to dodge away, but it doesn't matter. The reinforcements are here and Taiga's fine. It's Braim. We're gonna fall apart. Ultra kill for Koifa. Welcome to the offlane, buddy. It's Mickey. What, is this their OG impersonation? What's going on here? They're gonna pay for this one, or are they? How did they all survive? He got no kill out of that.
All I can say is welcome back, Sumail. It's been a while, but it is a pleasure to watch him play. On fire this game. The whole team really, just cliche, but firing on all cylinders, no real individual mistakes. I don't think Braim has played a bad game or a bad series by any means. Just outmatched in this one. All downhill after that first blood. No, the downside, you know, TA, much more active, way more threat. You have to play around a Death Prophet much differently, and Wish definitely was kind of controlling the tempo in the previous two, but here, just when you fall, when your team's behind on a Death Prophet, like, I just don't really know what you can do. Still have this mid-tier 1 standing even. Tier 3 items still available for Radiant. They don't have any of the 4 available because they just can't find jungle camps.
Give the gem to Mickey. That's how confident they are that he can just go in at any time. 3,300 HP on him.
Radiant's top tower is
Aegis will expire, so Braim can still try and take a fight soon. Gotta wait for Exorcism first. He's gonna go for a Gwipe here.
Dude, Axe Coil is actually just way too good. 4-second stun, pierces the BKB. 700 break damage before spell amp. No wonder this hero is good. 6, oh my god. 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
There goes the Aegis.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Braim, how do they
Tower is falling.
crack open this Liquid offense? Feels like they gotta get, they gotta somehow catch Insania and Sumail, right? Those are the heroes that actually can get 100 to 0'd.
You should have known better.
Radiant's top barracks
That's a lot
are under
easier said
attack.
than done, though.
It almost looks like they want them. They're like, okay, you can have top lane of barracks, but when you rotate over to bottom, that's when we're going to take that team fight. But Liquid has actually been playing cautiously. They smoked up, played on the triangle. Now they're going to head back in.
Radiant's top barracks are under
Oh, yeah, Koifa with Ags up, just murdering the racks.
Oh no, they're mass TPing back.
has fallen. Radiant's top
It's too late. I'm a little bit befuddled there, Kyle.
What can you do though, Cap?
Yeah.
It's easy to call out mistakes with no fog of war, but this map is very dark for Brame. They're trying to keep the lights on, but the sun is setting on their chances in this
I'm just
game.
not sure. Is that a fog of war thing?
They don't see them.
They were hitting,
look at they don't see
They were hitting
anything.
top lane of barracks. Did you think they were going to stop?
They looked like they were going to stop.
All right.
Mickey tricked them. Oh no.
That's a good kill.
But now they're going to run away.
Okay, the Stampede managed to get in front of Taiga here. Wish catches up. 2 supports potentially dying in this. No, they're actually going to try and turn this with a Chronosphere onto 3. They're going to go for the kill. Oh, that's a lot of damage, but the Oracle managed to save out Wish. He's going to be okay on the Death Prophet now with the Hex onto Mid-Gate. No, he takes it off. He time walks away. So much of the damage being undone there. Wish needs to limp it away back to the base as best as possible. Skylark hits a really good stuff. Taiga, he's chasing after them as best as possible. Yule Scepter going off, but Wish survives for a second. Not a second more.
Double ult for Koifa.
Immediately a bash, focus. Turns, but the silence, it's not going to last long enough for them to do much to make it. He's just so damn tanky, but maybe Skylark, he jumps in, Hood stops it again. They do not have the damage to deal with Mickey. And it's looking like the GGs are being announced bit by bit. Spinning away. Their best hope at this point is somehow lure Liquid into the fountain. Maybe Mickey will take them up on that. A 2-man impale. That's a pretty good one. And actually managed to save him from some Dagon as well. So the Lion is going to be able to stay alive. Mickey opting to try and go back in, but to keep their distance. Not allowing that Inkswell to be able to go through. Skylark is going to be able to catch. Oh, the Soulblind catches him before Skylark can jump forward. Immediately the chat wheel lines go out. Insania, they know where he is thanks to the Phantom's Embrace. He's placed onto focus. Brame, they're not going to be able to keep chasing apparently, and Samael's going to make sure they don't feel comfortable doing so.
That was they hit him with the fake GG. Now you can't type GG because that ends the game. You know, rules are you call GG, it's over. But if you voice line eta GG, that does not end the game. But it does bait Liquid into the fountain. Their nemesis. That's a Galaxy Brain play.
Galaxy Brain.
You know, find a way to win. That's the name of the game. This is a big series.
This is where it all turns around.
They bought themselves one more fight. No Taiga. Liquid's cocky. They're tipping each other. Yeah, you can see it. This is the play.
Taiga inside of the fountain. Absolutely brilliant Etagiki play. Incredible.
And now they're laughing to themselves. Skylark is not enjoying this game.
No. I think Spartan is either, but Wish still have an Essence ring. Skylark comes forward, stomps up Koifa. They do immediately stun Mickey when he jumps in. Problem still being they don't have the damage to really threaten him. Wish is going to push forward with his exorcism, but he's having a hard time with it as Koifa's already run down Skylark. Now he's draining away focus as well. He's going down the fountain, and Koifa, he's going to go ahead and complete that fountain dive. Gets him in the end. A celebratory Chronosphere, and GG is finally forced as Liquid will take it 2-1. They do drop that one game, but ultimately Samael on his way.
5 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn Radiant to ban. Team ban.
There is so much on the line for this game, for especially Team Liquid. Their goal is not just about this, it's
when you carry, but some OD. It's not exactly a lot of damage.
It's a lot of control, a lot of silence, but I think you're absolutely right, Brian. If they get behind, these chronospheres are going to feel rather underwhelming.
Yeah.
I think they realized they had the stampede issue, is why they picked this puck.
10 seconds
It's like,
remaining.
right now they can kind of just walk away from us. It does counter that.
Could you end this with a mag mid for Brame?
I think your hero has to be able to lane against Razor as well as Puck.
Sure,
I think they could swap it up.
That's
Because
definitely
Puck
true.
could reasonably offlane here too, I think. So you have to consider what hero does okay against Puck, but also could lane against Razor. A lot of the Razor counters are countered by Puck. Viper, maybe?
Still in the pool? Yeah.
I'd be down for some Viper.
Viper,
That's a super exciting hero.
very irritating again for the Void.
Yep.
You get that puddle down and suddenly it just always feels bad chronoing.
They have plenty of lockdown. Like, I don't mind an anti-carry in the mid lane here.
Well, they're taking their time.
I don't know if it's really Wish's style, though. He seems like the guy that wants to take over the game. There you go.
Death Prophet.
That does lane against both of those heroes.
Sure.
It's also nice against Razor, one of the few heroes that can get linked and just kill him anyway. You dish out damage while you're chronoed. You have the Oracle save to synergize. I honestly like Brame's lineup way better than I like Liquid's. They proved last game that they are quite capable of competing with Liquid.
I think this is going to be one of those games where you're going to see a chrono and not a lot's going to happen. I'm a little concerned for the follow-up that Liquid have. If they don't play it perfectly at the start against Brame, I think, Brame's got a great lineup.
Yeah, I don't mean to jinx him, but...
Yeah, you kind of jinxed Liquid last time around.
Yeah, I did.
You both liked the draft of Liquid better that time. So that time already Brame won. So this is like really Brame favorite.
This is giving me like the game 1 vibes where it just seems like Liquid's draft is harder to play.
Okay.
Than Brame's, like a reverse.
I mean...
Like, one lineup's just very straightforward. You have Jug to sit behind the DP with Healing Ward, and then go in once the Chrono's been thrown down. Centaur to take the early pressure because he does walled lane against Void.
No, absolutely. I mean, yeah, Healing Ward with a DP.
Complicated. That's the thing. It's not complicated, and I think you've got all the boxes checked. There's no, like, you have objective taking, you have catch.
Yeah, this line. You know, you're picking the Sumail, but there's a line in the game. You've got to be ready for the hexes from the line, the silences from the Death Prophet. It's not an easy game for him to jump around. He's probably going to have to get something defensive early on, but even the Yules this game doesn't feel too great because they're going to have stuns for you on the way down. The Centaur, if it's anything like we saw in game 2, you know, Skylight had a smashing game. So this is this is not an easy game, Liquid.
Started them going into the series.
No place for doubters here. We're going to have a fantastic game as far as my panel is concerned, and we're going to head over to Cap and Kyle for it.
Well, I do hope we have a good game. After all, it's game 3 between Liquid and Brame, after Brame did indeed prove that they can bring down Liquid at least once. Let's see if they can do it again. Kyle, you believe their draft? Seems like our panel certainly did.
I think so. On paper, it definitely looks like they have all the answers. Void best answered by Hex mechanics. They've got one, and then also a hard save for the Chronosphere to target. Very concerned. Liquid, this is kind of their bread and butter style, though. You know, semi-independent.
standing in for Boxy today?
It was great. Sumail is fantastic. I mean, we got this guy. We knew we probably needed him. Contacted him a few months ago. He was really easy. Literally the day after the Enigma series, shout out to Liquid. They got him a visa like the day after, and then he was just like off a flight, ready to scrim. We've been grinding with him. He's been phenomenal. Honestly, I'm really surprised if he doesn't get another opportunity on a top tier team.
Yeah. I also don't know if you want to share anything regarding Boxy's situation, or if you'd rather just talk about the game.
No, we can. So I'd rather not get into the specifics of it. I see some people asking and wondering if it's like somebody in his family has coronavirus or anything like that. No, his family's responsible and everything like that. This is not like a long-term thing. No matter how well we do with Sumail, if we go 4-0 or we win the major, however long he plays with us, I'd still love to give up the opportunity for Boxy to come back. I know he's watching. We love him a lot. Hope he knows that like we think about him all the time. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes from here on out for us. We have no timetable on anything. Just whenever he feels like it, open arms.
Okay, that is awesome to hear, and I'm sure a lot of fans are very happy to hear that too.
I'm just wondering, you've been in esports for a long time, Blitz, and what's it like to be able to talk about a team atmosphere just like you just described? That just sounds like the dream for every player, where we talk about like roster shuffles and doing what's best for ourselves, and just hearing that you guys talk about Boxy, no matter how well you guys do, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the way that I talked about it is, look, if we did it in some like shady way, I couldn't live with myself. I would rather just simply not go to TI if that was the case. And I know I can't really speak for everyone here, but if this isn't like our philosophy as a team, then I would rather just not coach. I feel pretty strongly that you can't say all this bullshit about being family and like how close you are if you're not going to stick with them when times are tough as well. So I really like being here as a result. I think they are model citizens. I think all 4 guys here are excellent. Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think, if there's ever an organization to sort of say the things that you're saying at Blitz, Liquid, I think everyone in the world absolutely believes that every single word that you're saying about this. And yeah, Blitz, first of all, miss you a lot, buddy. Hope you're doing great.
Hi, Owen.
I just sort of want to know, you're saying how well, Sumail's obviously slipping in for these games. Do you feel that you're able to sort of keep that same dynamic that Liquid has, where you have that versatility with all your roles with Sumail in the squad, or are you having to change up a lot of your strategies now around Sumail being in?
Actually, I think things open up because he brings a lot of new ideas. He's a different player. I think it all also helps because Max has been phenomenal in the off lane. Like, if you watch him play, you would not think that he was just, like, he adjusted so quickly to the role. We gave him 3 days of practice, and we're like, yo, just figure it out. It's nothing like your hero pool. You're gonna have to now call like an offlaner. Everything is different, but he's done like a phenomenal job of figuring it out. Honestly, Max is like the only reason any of this works. As good as Sumail is as a mid player, the fact that we're able to slot Max in helps a lot. And further down the line, when we get a little bit more comfortable and we have a few more days, then you can probably see us go back to doing crazy things. Sumail's an excellent safe laner. Mickey can also play mid. Max can also play mid. You give us a little bit of time and we can figure some stuff out.
Yeah, because you say a couple of days. When did Sumail arrive in the Netherlands?
So we got him here Thursday at like 7 a.m. and then he just didn't sleep, and we scrimmed like 4 games, and he just was like, he was a zombie, but he was still playing. He was grinding it. Those scrims weren't maybe the most productive, but yeah, I mean, he's been an absolute trooper. I'm really surprised more teams aren't lining up to talk to this guy. His skill is right up there. Personality-wise, he fits in excellently. He talks. He's a really good time. He's been teaching us a lot. He leads a lot of the replay sessions. Like, he tells everyone, like, hey, come over, come look at this and stuff like that. He's not anything at all like what I think people would expect. Super humble, nice guy.
All right, well, I think you gave also a great sales pitch for any teams out there looking.
Yeah, absolutely. This one is phenomenal.
I think a lot of teams mid laners might be quaking a bit, performances aren't too great this league. Yeah, Sumail's coming for your spot, yeah. Yeah,
I mean, it was very good seeing him play. It did fit, especially that third game. You guys were just on absolute fire. So what went wrong in game 2? You just got to ask the question,
That top lane was like, I was watching that and I was like, are we ever going to recover? And we still almost did.
Almost.
But it was a little bit awkward, and it just kind of messed up with our mojo. And then we threw like 2 fights in a row, and it was a little bit rough. just being in that position in the first place. I think our guys did pretty admirably.
Five.
Like, they have a lot of skirmish, but answers. Void best answered by Hex Mechanics. They've got one, and then also a hard save for the Chronosphere to target. Very concerned. Liquid, this is kind of their bread and butter style, though. You know, semi-independent cores, active supports with a ton of disable. They can outplay Brame, no question, but the Void's damage in Chrono is limited. There's no steroid for him. And the team fight and sustain of Brame is quite strong.
You know, when I saw the first 3 picks of Liquid, I really thought they were going to go for an Invoker. For a Quaswix Invoker, Sumail Invoker as well. Where you had that, you could have had that style of what OG saw, right? Where they just give a bunch of buffs. I believe they had both Grimstroke and Invoker in that situation, where they gave him Alacrity and they gave him Inkswell, and he just went in and went ham. Instead, they didn't get any more steroids for Void.
This is going to be way more of the one-man show. Sumail on his puck should have a decent time against the Death Prophet mid, but I think he's going to have an incredible time for them to take this win.
They're going to go ahead. He already stealing away so much damage away from Focus. They're going to chase him down. Yeah, Sumail, he's going to get the last couple of shots in. That should be enough, indeed. First blood. And Koifa barely managing to dodge death there. Snowman's going to be run down as well. There's going to be 2 kills. Fortunately, Spartan was able to get that kill onto Koifa. He is out in no man's land. They make sure to give the kill on Snowman to Mickey.
Yep, really well done. Immediate TPs to top lane, catching the creeps. Works out quite well for Liquid, especially since First Blood went to Sumail. Did he? Oh, and he rushed a null, didn't he? Yeah, I like that decision a lot. No need to get a fast bottle. Get the extra stats.
And there it is. Spartan getting the kill on the off lane. Koifa. Once again, we're going to see Koifa playing a mid laner in the off lane position. Something that I'm sure we're going to get more and more well accustomed to.
Starting the game with a fluffy hat.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I dig that, because you're not dying to right clicks, right? It'll be the Oracle burst damage with the spin. So now you just link during spin and you're going to be quite strong. I can dig it.
Good Spartan challenging Koifa. He knows that the Razor needs to be able to stick on top of the Juggernaut and feel comfortable doing so in order to win this lane. And Spartan always making sure Koifa's a bit low on health. Trying to secure these last hits. They're going to actually go for an aggressive kill onto Koifa here. Koifa starts taking away the damage. It's going to go into the tower range, but Koifa, is he dead? Oh, the last shot comes in from Spartan. Fortunately, the long range, the Purifying Flames is able to secure the kill.
I think you'll take that if you're Koifa, though. You get all these creeps coming into tower as you respawn. You got all the mana of Oracle, so Spartan's really no longer a hero in this lane unless he gets regen.
Yeah, jumping over for the water runes. Wish will take the one on the other side.
Yeah, be careful though. Sumail's looking to orbit. A little late on that dodge there, my man. Still coming back in the swing of things.
Meanwhile, we on the other side of things, Skylark, the offlaner for Brame, is that Centaur for the 3rd game.
Hey, something understated from that last game was, keep in mind, Mickey on Spectre got absolutely destroyed in lane.
Yep.
And if there's anything I think Liquid change here, it's making sure that they'll have a better time in the safe lane. Yeah, Spartan going to die. It's a product of having not nearly enough mana or HP to sustain. But, you know, that was a 6-0 Spectre to 27-15 Centaur. So that really didn't, like, it was as bad for Liquid as possible, really. This is already looking much more promising. 3-minute runes. A nice ward, though, placed. You can see they're going to spot the rotation of the Earth Spirit. This is very prescient. Whenever you're playing against an active mid, and, no, the one down there by Brown. Yeah, that one. That's the when you have an active 4 position roaming, you need this defensive ward more than you need high ground vision.
Spartan shows himself, and immediately Taiga tries to go for the roll, but misses. Ends up in tower range too, so that's a little awkward. Battling it out, Mickey. Get him the ink swell. He is going to be stomped here. He's got 12 magic stick charges, so he can certainly keep fighting. He's got a time walk to do if he wanted to. Try and keep up, but seems it not worth. Mid lane is being won by Sumail right now, but not super dominantly or anything. Wish making sure to pull the creeps with him when he goes to the water rune. Something that very few times I've played mid. I realized, how do these mids feel comfortable going for these water runes so often? You got to pull the creep wave with you.
Yep.
Jumping over, they go onto the support this time around. The ink swell is going to do a ton of damage. Now he does have a nuke coming up. He can throw it out. He'll get a good amount of damage on it. Mickey, they may even kill Mickey here. No time walk up for him, and he gets bursted down. He had magic wand charges, but he didn't pop it. I don't think he expected the double edge to come up that fast.
Yeah, no points return. Just maxed out W. So much burst. Double edge, 180 plus 80% strength. So yeah, like 200 damage. Double edge stun, double edge. That's
yeah. How many charges did Mickey have on his wand? 6 charges. Okay, so 5 before.
there was a weird hesitation when he went to the line, though. You saw
disappointing.
That, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Why?
Let's go first, then I'll follow that up.
I think he okay, so pretty much Hale was up.
Yeah.
Something.
It was still on cooldown, fortunately. But nice kill from Brame. I think that
a shakeup, and one of those two teams, I mean, they're TI caliber teams, right? They're teams that literally have won the international. I expected them to be able to come into the second season. People like to say like, oh, they only show up at TI or whatever. Well, to get to TI,
there's only one.
They need to do well here,
Yeah.
right? So I feel like in many ways they have to be in TI form right now.
I'll be a bit biased here.
Okay.
I'm kind of rooting against OG because I'm the kind of guy who, if I play Dota 3 days a week, we were discussing this, I'm just not going to play nearly as well. And it would bother me if Anna just came back after like a year and just started dumping on people. That would bother me. So they're back to what they used to look like in terms of their style, in terms of the flair.
And you're bothered by them being so good.
And I'm bothered if they were to just come back and it looked the exact same. Like if it was just as clean as it was at TI, it was like just the perfection in terms of like.
I understand that. Like when somebody's too good looking, too successful,
you
too
get annoyed,
funny,
you
you're
get
like,
jealous.
You got to be a psychopath or something, dude. Like there's got to be something wrong with you. Like why is Anna allowed to do that? I can feel that. I can feel that.
A lot of people say maybe Thompson just got lucky. I believe he is going to talk to us about luck and how things are not luck, how it's also just skill. Let's see what he has to say.
Look how tanky he is. He doesn't care. He just stands there. No problem. Goes right back in again. He's going to heal up thanks to that ink flow. He chases on Nico Baby, rolling on through here. His socks on a cataclysm comes in hot. Nico Baby falls. And now F4.
I started playing Dota first time when I was 8 years old. I mean, it's been, what, 15 years since I played first time, but back then I didn't really play it much, just like try it here and there. But since then it's been there. Of course, there's a lot more to it than just suddenly getting into OG and getting lucky. I mean, of course, there's luck involved, the fact that it happened and stuff. But of course, there's a lot of hard work and dedication and never giving up. Then you need a little bit of luck.
Limp hops back out, trying to just get some more damage down. Hanskin falling, but Limp, he needs some help, and I don't think he's going to get it as it's a double kill now.
It's pretty big in Finland, I guess. Like, not so much Dota, but I think like CSGO, I guess, like there's quite a bit of pro CSGO players, and I mean, yes, they retired from Dota, but there's still Matu, and then there's this decent talent in Finland, like even in Dota, but I'm hoping we get like another breakthrough at some point. There's a lot of sauna, yes. When I'm in Finland, yes. Events, sometimes even once a day, but usually it's like 2-3 times per week. But yeah, I love sauna. It's the best.
Well, great to get to know Thompson a little bit more. We are also on the other side, on the HELLBEAR Smashers. We're going to get to know Gilgear a little bit more and hear something about meatballs.
Still hit by the telekinesis and
OG's turn to pick. Radiant team pick.
Lion.
Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Invoker. Bounty Hunter.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, well, did not know where that was going with the meatballs, but I guess now we learned. We're also going to learn what the two teams are going to draft, because we are in the draft of the first game of this best of 3, and I'm going to let both Cap and BSJ break it down. I believe we are a couple picks in, so there it is.
hey, there
we
you
go. Ooh, Invoker Bounty first, too. Look at that.
This is a HELLBEAR Smashes draft. I've never seen one. Stormer special.
Yeah.
And Snipe and Courier special.
Yeah, and the game where they picked Invoker first, and when they played against Team Secret, that was the game that they won. They ended up losing 2-1, but the one game that they did win, it was that first phase pick Invoker.
Feels like with the as a mid laner, the less rotations that are happening. There's not these like constant 4 positions roaming into your lane, and then the access to having these early bottles, these early water runes, bounty runes, etc. There's so much forgiveness in the mid lane that you can just pick up Storm Spirit, Beastmaster, Invoker, Puck.
I feel like you can literally pick up anything if you've played 500 plus games on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just at the end of the day, it's going to get a game. Heroes like TA may be a bit different just because they have very specific hard counters. But Invoker, it's like, yeah, there's some heroes that are harder to cast spells on, like the Jugs of the world, the Pucks of the world. They can use a spell that dodges your spells, but they don't like ruin his game. You know, he's gonna have a game. Last time we saw him, I doubted his ability to play Quas Wex because I'd never seen it across like all the games he'd ever picked Invoker. He always played the Quas Exhort, but he's clearly capable of doing that. That's what they beat Seeker with. So they've got some flexibility in this. It's not a flex pick in terms of roles, but it is a flex pick in regards to the role he's going to play on the team. When it comes to scaling and pace and all that kind of stuff.
Like a Quas Wex build, we can see them pick up something like a Faceless Void, and they just like, okay, let's just Alacrity this guy, or maybe we just go and get ourselves a lot of damage with an Exort Invoker. Bounty Hunter, I waffle back and forth on. Maybe it's just my experience playing him, but it's like, I feel so good in winning games. Like, you just rack up the golds nonstop. You're picking on couriers. You're breaking smokes. Like, the enemy team just feels like they can't do anything when you are winning on a bounty hunter. They don't have, so many of their comeback plays are just ruined by your
costs them more to kill you than it does that they get from killing you.
Yeah.
The detection and all the, like, they have to find 3 heroes to get you, especially after you get the shard.
Yeah. But if you lose your lanes and you're on the losing side of things, well, bounty hunter doesn't usually give you anything that actually allows you to win team fights, right? Like, most of what he attributes into team fights is
information
and items, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's getting so much extra gold, and everybody's getting extra gold, that you have items to be able to help you. You have a solar crest when they only have a medallion, as an example. But so yeah, I kind of waffle back and forth. I feel like it's very important to win at least one of your lanes, if not 2, with the bounty hunter.
Yeah, he seems like a hero that's very niche in that regard, not because because he is so polarizing in regards to his performance, but also it just takes very specific scenarios that enable him. I think most notably an offlaner that is independent. Timber's already getting banned out. He's like the #1 for me. Maybe a Centaur, something like that where, okay, you've got your level 3 or 4. I'm going to leave you alone and go pick on the enemy's off lane and help my carry out, or snipe some couriers in the mid lane, something like that. Because in lane, he's kind of underwhelming. You know, if I'm like a carry laning against a 4-position bounty hunter, other than yoinking me a little bit, he doesn't really do much.
Radiant team pick.
So they banned away the Medusa, and we already saw the Invoker plus Faceless Void. The other combo we've seen HELLBEAR Smashers run with the Invoker is Wraith King, which I'm already looking at OG is a very burst-heavy lineup.
Yeah.
Their first 2 picks.
Is this a core bounty?
It's looking like it.
Yeah, because a 5 bounty is kind of bad, right?
Yeah, but is the 5 Shaman bad? Because so far it's been Gilgir playing it, but I guess Gilgir also plays the Shaman, but I guess also Tofu plays the Shaman.
I got to play a Poverty Shaman because I don't know how to play the hero in this patch, and playing against Pug, you just die.
Especially not knowing like what the offlane is exactly. Like already deciding both your supports does feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Especially if they are potentially weak laning supports against whatever is picked up.
So offlane Alk is still a thing in EU. I had it on my team yesterday.
I mean, did it win?
That was the game that we were down by, you know, 5k gold at 10 minutes. So it was not good lane.
Okay.
Not a good laning stage. But we did win.
Okay.
So I'm assuming their 4th pick is either going to be Gyro or Monkey King. Those are the only 2 reasonable picks. Unless their other option is just go Oracle.
Yeah.
And make this a carry Alk. I would say those are really the only 3, maybe a Abaddon, I guess. The 2 save 5s.
Support, yeah.
Yeah, the 2 save 5s or the 2 carries that get ag scepters fed to them.
So if you do Misery Bounty Hunter here, make that a core, then you could still get Ancient Apparition, right?
Yeah,
But
you could. But
would
then
you
your
pick it
draft,
now?
like
Your
AA
draft
plus
is-
what?
Yeah.
It's a little forced, I think. I would actually be upset if they had picked AA. I think they'd be like they'd be out drafting themselves.
Yeah, I mean Puck would own that game.
Yeah, I think Monkey King has to be the pick here if they plan to move Alchemist to the off lane. Looks like a 5 bounty or a 5 shaman. I would assume it's 5 bounty because shaman axe sounds a lot stronger than bounty axe.
Yeah, Axe right now is a pretty formidable offliner, just because he gets the battle hunger early on, and you just throw it on the opposing support, and your 4 position battles them. They can't do anything about it. They have to retreat because they're naturally taking more damage because of battle hunger, and then very quickly the lane becomes 2v1. Where the enemy support he feels like he can't do anything, and then just together you harass the carry.
Axe used to have bad base stats. If you compare him to like a year and a half ago, he had like 5 less damage and 20 less move speed. And we saw with Death Prophet last patch what happens when you just give hero base stats, and that's kind of what Axe has done for him. Now, I am not a huge fan of this unless this is like a support Alk, meaning like if it's an offlane Alk with the sole purpose of feeding an Axe to somebody. I don't like Slark with it because Axe does not enable Slark to farm faster. It makes him a stronger fighter, which is great and all, but pretty much every carry in the game with a free Axe can fight. So I usually prefer the ones that accelerate their carry to get more and more items. So I don't know. I think Slark's nice against Bounty Shaman. It's not amazing against Axe because the call is not purgeable by Dark Pact.
Yeah, if anything, if he catches you right as you pop Dark Pact, farming a creep wave or something, he catches you with a blink blade mail, then you're gonna...
It's gone a bit better because they gave Slark the level 15 lifesteal talent, so you take that every time you're against Axe, then you also build SNY, which amps up the lifesteal talent, gives you some status resistance. In the past, there was absolutely no play. Slark was hard countered by Axe. Now it's kind of like whoever's ahead.
Yeah.
Really is fine.
Well, for HELLBEAR Smashers, this is also probably quite the question mark because all 4 heroes on the side of OG, they have not played yet this season. So there's not a lot of information to go off of, considering, I guess with Ana back, it changes up your heroes as well.
This is the perfect type of game for Slark, now that I think about it. Slark hates 5-manning. He hates it. He never wants to be in team fights like all these games we've been seeing so far, where it's just straight up, balling down lanes at 9 minutes into the games. There is absolutely 0 team fight on like both these teams. There's like some AoE spells,
Yeah.
like the coil and invoker spells, but there's no like Mars,
10
Tide,
seconds
Phoenix, you know, that kind of stuff.
Is it still something you want to see on the teams, or are you okay without?
I think OG is very okay with it so far. I think HELLBEAR Smashers needs to give themselves either a strong independent carry like the Ace Wraith King, which allows them to constantly make moves on their own terms, or to give themselves like the Faceless Void that is already banned out. Bloodseeker would be a perfect example. The hero that just says, F you, Slark. You know, you can't Dark Pact and ult away from this. Chrono's the Chrono Rupture. Thinking of what else is...
Chrono Rupture, both banned.
Yes.
Sure.
Thinking of what else is in the game. PL's already banned. That's a great matchup against Slark. Maybe they'll go...
You know what? There has been a Division 2 team that has tried Bounty Hunter out as a carry.
It owned. Absolutely owned.
No, it didn't.
I know. I was hoping the Gork fans would get hyped out there.
Oh, you know, a lot of people that are watching right now might not be watching Division 2, so they might not have known who you were talking about.
Oh. Well, then they're casual Gork fans, and they don't deserve his acknowledgement of their presence.
True. But is there a chance that HELLBEAR Smashers will try that out, because that would allow them to
Last pick a 5 position. I don't
that
think
can
so.
save against Slark?
I'm gonna shut that down because you're
Okay.
wasting your last pick.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were about to say she's like wasting her breath or something. I was like, dang.
All right, we got the Elder Titan as back.
I thought you were getting real hostile.
No, I'm that mean to you, not to Sheep.
Okay, fair enough.
OG is going for support last ban, or last pick rather. If you're to believe HELLBEAR Smashers, they are banning out sports.
Yeah. I think this is offlane Alk with a 4 Lion, and they're just looking for their no-tail hero, I presume. They ban away some of the better heroes to either work with Puck or Slark. Can't believe Grimstroke was in here still, but...
What lanes against Alk Lion, you know, that's left in the pool? They do go for the Oracle.
Different team, but I'll take it. It was my call. Yay.
Still gives you the... Like, it still gives you the nice
They were
Oracle
denied
Alk,
but they knew it was coming on 10.
Slark is incredible with Oracle as well, right? So
Yeah.
it's nice.
I mean, you mentioned
I mean,
it
they're
earlier,
all
Phil,
buffing
right?
up like this one hero.
I mentioned it for OG because I thought they'd pick it if Alk was going to be a carry.
Yes.
So I was also somewhat wrong there because they put Slark carry. But what is the plan here?
Wait. How big is the chance that Alk was mid and Puck offlane? No.
Nah, I think we need some space maker here. I think Alk mid's like way too greedy. Because then you got like a Puck who's supposed to carry you through the first 15 minutes from the offlane. I don't think that's possible.
All right, well.
Rasmus is pretty good at Dota. Or not Rasmus, excuse me. Seb.
Well, Rasmus is also. There will be a Ricky last pick. You happy? Not happy? Some silence and
problem I have
question
with
marks?
Ricky here is I feel like in the safe lane, like Alk's a weak laner, right? He can be. He can be punished. I feel like he's going to lay down acid spray, and there's nothing Bounty Hunter and Ricky can do about that.
Yeah.
Like, they're just going to impale the Ricky if he ever tries to go on the Alk, and so that means this Alk's going to get a really early Ag Scepter, then he's going to get the Solar Crest, and he's going to get the Ag Shard, and I think Slark can 1v5 this game when given those items.
Yeah, the thing about this matchup for Riki is that they can go both ways. So you need to start with having a strong laning phase, and I'm just not sure if he's actually going to be able to have that because they're weird Bounty Hunter and Shadow Shaman support combo. Because I assume this Bounty Hunter is going to be with the Riki.
Yeah, momentum game, and I think
so.
they're going to get that out Ags at like 12 minutes, and OG's just going to take it from there.
Yeah, they're gonna Bounty Hunter 5. Would you like? Do they have a better shot if they put the Bounty Hunter on the offlane together with the Axe? Like, is that a better?
Because you want to pressure that Slark with the Shadow Shot.
I think Axe Shaman's the better lane.
Yeah, Axe is hugely enabled by having 4 ranged 4s, not melees.
All right, so that lane has to pop off. Like that Axe Shaman, if that doesn't do well,
early Vanguard. Down to Slark constantly.
All right, well, the game plan is clear for the squads. Let's find out who's going to take this first one of the best of 3. We're heading over to Moxie and Fogged.
Thank you so much, Shiver. And we get a little bit of a treat here. We get a Ricky picked up. Usually we see that over on Thompson. He's been trying to make that work in some of his games, but this time we're going to see Ace. And it sounds like the situation is going to come down to who can snowball first, coming out from either team.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm a little worried for the HELLBEAR Smashers. I'm seeing some limited damage coming out from their lineup just across the board. If you just look at what the heroes, how the heroes are going to be able to scale, Riki takes a long time to get online to be really dishing out that damage. Stormstormer has actually kind of changed it up. In his past, he's only gone Exort. This season, he's actually completely changed. He's gone Quas Wex the last 2 games I saw him play Invoker, which also is going to cause some damage issues as well. So I really do agree with the panel. I think Rasmus has to dominate. Like, this Axe has to completely take over top, swing around and just help out pretty much every lane. Because I think this Alchemist, he's going to get his Ags online at a pretty good timing. And then I don't know how they kill this Slark. The 2 supports they can't threaten Slark almost at all. If he shadow dances, they have no damage or anything that actually hurts that Slark. Just a Cloud, Axe, and Invoker.
Did they fall into a little bit of a trap, right? Because, you know, the Alchemist did get picked up and they had the Bounty Hunter, perhaps thinking that, you know, they'd be able to really poke away, unaware of the fact that they were going to put the Alchemist in that off lane.
I think they fell to like a couple traps, perhaps, like because they wanted an instant disable as well for the puck. That's why they grabbed Shadow Shaman, because Lion's already taken. However, then they just revealed their 2 supports, right? The Bounty and the Shadow Shaman, which just opened up the draft. I feel like for OG to go for a hero like Slark. That if I was playing Slark and you see Shadow Shaman Bounty supports, you have no care in this game at all. They have no like ground target spells that can actually bother you. You can track, you can dispel. If the Shaman gets a jump on you, sure, it can get a little annoying, but for the most part, Slark should be able to see the Shaman coming.
So it's all about Rasmus and his positioning and the initiation coming out for the side of HELLBEAR Smashers. But I think, you know, he's had pretty good positioning in the past, right? We've seen him play quite a bit of Enigma in the past DPC season as well. It always seems like he was in the right place, right time.
Yeah, he's been impressive too, like with his Axe and stuff. These 2 have been very strong. And this lane can't dominate. Versus a Slark, it's not the easiest matchup. They do at least have Oracle. I think that's one that can maybe change the matchup, because he can just dispel hunger. But yeah, these 2, it's going to be the key for Smashers.
It's also going to be very important that they can get onto that back line and try to deal with No Tail. And they do, you know, for all the that we say that they have a bit of a weaker sort of lineup with that Bounty Hunter, that is a hero that can sneak into the back lines, along with the Riki too.
Thanks for that.
Absolutely, yeah. These 2, they could trip stuff up. Like Riki versus Slark, also the Cloud is always something we do have to pay attention for, and Cloud versus Puck. That's why they grabbed it, right? It does have those clear indications of why it's good. If they can actually get it off the mark before OG is just online. Because they're going to get online so quick with this Alk, who's... It looks like he's going to have a pretty free lane. It's double melee. They can't actually slow down an Alchemist.
And you can see the amount of damage that Tofu was already taken just from approaching that creep wave and trying to put out the harass. So this is going to be a little bit rough here coming out for the side of HELLBEARs. But OG probably going to have themselves a very nice time down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, and it's like, honestly, the Bounty and Riki as melee heroes, they're quite good versus Asses, right? But they're melee heroes, so it's going to be painful anyway. Even though they are like 7 armor heroes, they don't get hurt as much from the reduction. They're melee, and there's a Lion behind. He just uses it that much stronger. Mid?
Just a little.
Watching a bit of trades here.
Yeah, casual tornado tossed out. How active are we going to see Stormstormer? Because in the past, we've seen him be pretty, I don't want to say sedentary, but he doesn't really move around that much. Does he have to be more active now with the way that this patch is working?
Yeah, and I think that's why we're seeing him transition to Quas Wex. You know, that last season, he only went Exort. I think his whole career, he's really mostly played Exort in like 90% of the games. I think, yeah, it's because of that reasoning that he's going to have to make much more moves around the map. And I feel like, you know, you have to versus Puck. This is not an easy lane for an Invoker.
Nothing.
No, and it's definitely one of the heroes that, you know, the Puck Dream Call does have a very low cooldown. He's going to be very active, and if he gets any sort of rune of opportunity, he is going to be making rotations and causing problems. But Stormstormer will rotate and pick up the water runes here. Puck does have his bottle as well, but already gotten all those water runes.
He's got to deny them out. There's no way to force the wave in as an Invoker always, so you just see like Topson, he's just pushing the wave in onto him. Invoker has to use Tornado to secure those range creeps, otherwise he's going to get them denied. It's just it's a tough matchup, just always.
Well, he's trying his best here right now. Currently, Puck's sitting at 15-3, and the Invoker 11-2. And Tofu has to be careful. He's taking a lot of harass here, but he is, of course, making a little bit of space for Ace to be able to approach the creep wave, because this is rough down here.
Yeah, it is. At least he's getting a little bit of farm. He's getting all these wand charges on the Riki. He's not getting pressured himself, but he's not slowing down Alchemist. Whenever you see that offlane Alchemist, if you're not killing him, that means you're heavily losing the efficiency game. They're just getting way more gold on the map than you are, just even off of this early start.
I mean, I suppose on the flip side, right? So the Alchemist is having a great time in his lane, but also, you know, up here in the top lane, Rasmus is getting his CS. He seems to be doing fairly well. Is that enough to kind of offset, or is it just because it's an Alchemist by nature? He is, of course, going to, you know, accelerate faster, that it's still a really big problem here.
They need to get some kills up top, and they will now find a grab at least onto No-Tail. Don't have the follow-up call, but they do have some...
They might be able to. Gonna get the deny now. Gilger will secure the first blood.
So yeah, to answer, it's good that Rasmus is doing this. It's good that he's slowing down Slark, but they need to get kills. They need to threaten up here. So that's a great move for them right now.
You see Stormstormer picked up some of those raindrops on his Invoker as well, expecting a lot of magical harass, of course. Bottom lane, a little bit of pressure here onto Seb. Probably not as much as they'd like, but, you know, Ace is going to be able to hit those creeps.
Yeah, they're just throwing out some slight harassment. I see that Ace is going for early items. He's just going for Orb Corrosion, so they do want to try to push this Alchemist out pretty soon. They don't want him just be sitting down here. I'm checking to see if there's any stacks at the ready. I thought maybe Saksa would have been backing up to do that, but not just yet.
We have one stack over on the side of HELLBEARs.
Yeah.
That one over there, it's already been cleared out, but, you know, that's still very helpful for Rasmus. Bottom lane, a couple trades, a couple little hits here. Again, no hard committals just yet. Everybody seems to want to just sit back and ensure that they can get their farm on.
Rasmus is starting to get to the point where he really wants to bully as much as possible. Vanguard's almost up. So Vanguard, and then I feel like maybe even like cut creep waves, start just really looking to pressure, take tower as best as possible. You need to get an advantage in this game pretty early on. You don't want this Alchemist Slark just starting to do Alchemist things. So even if it's an off-lane Alchemist, it's a different type of Alchemist game. I know the whole Cinderin saying, but...
Sure. Yeah.
Steps up a bit far.
Just a little bit here. They should be able to get the taunt off, and that's another kill that they will collect here in the top lane. They're doing exactly what you said that they needed to do, but Seb in the bottom lane taking a lot of harass. Saksa also having some difficulties here. They should be able to clean up. Maybe one more hit trick straight come out. Oh, no, he's going to be able to survive. He's got a salve as well.
Wow, that was so close. That was so close. A nice aggressive move, though, from the two of them. They just walk up and start hitting. Whenever the line walks away, they start hitting that Alchemist. Same thing top, we see that opportunity taken. And yeah, Vanguard is online. So Rasmus, he's pretty safe up here now. He probably can't die to the two of them almost at all. So should maybe even open up the map for Gilger to start looking for these runes and not let Thompson get every single one of them.
You have quite a few denies over on Thompson, but with this Invis rune, perhaps they can make something up. They do have the sentry over up on the high ground to the side, but...
Yeah, he's level 2 shackles. Not a point in the hex just yet, but if he's able to at least connect with the shackle, that could have gotten a kill onto Thompson. But yeah, he's gonna go ahead back top and maybe look for Ana here.
Do they have the amount of damage necessary though? Because they do have that invis. Call comes out from Rasmus, not quite able to grab. Yeah, they do have the sentry off the side.
Ana play probably more careful then because of that.
Yeah, you can see him kind of...
he's swinging also around mid. I think he's probably expecting the shaman either mid or top, so he's just playing between the two a little bit here.
Yeah, look at this. They immediately realize, okay, they knew that we were coming. We have to take these down now.
Great D-ward. Rasmus getting some great tower damage, also applying pressure to Ana. This is a good start for them. They got to keep looking to get... I want them to like really push forward to get this top tower so they can force the Slark out of lane. Because Rasmus, what he ideally wants to do is you get this top tower and then you swing and make a rotation in mid, and you can try to at least pressure the mid tower too to open up the map for yourself so your Bounty, your Ricky can all get all the information they want.
They're gonna get a snipe on the courier here.
Very nice.
So that's gotta feel nice going over for Gilger. My question to you is, how important is it that they get this Blink Dagger online? Right? We've got the Vanguard already online, but we do need some sort of initiation. We need to jump onto the Slark, right?
Yeah, it's huge. He definitely needs to get like boost blink as fast as possible this game.
This is a good rotation here coming out from Stormstormer. You talked about slowing down this Alchemist. They should be able to do it. Ace gets himself that kill.
Why prolong the inevitable?
Great early movement coming out from Stormstormer. Yeah, just move around as much as possible, especially when they're not setting up the push mid. He doesn't have to worry about actually losing the tower probably either, because there's no catapult or anything at this time period. Runes, Gilger again checking it.
Use the Hex, picks it up. It's the Arcane Rune. Thompson would have liked that, but of course No-Tail is nearby, so they'll be able to root, hold into place. Saksa going down the bottom lane, but it looks like they should be able to eventually click down Gilger.
So this rotation from Stormstormer, though, netting 2 kills, and they only get the 1 trade up top here on OG. This is good moves from Smashers.
This is the plays that they need to be making. Can they keep up the momentum, though, is the real question.
That really is going to be it. That's why we see like, Rasmus has to. I'm gonna keep checking to see if they have more stacks for this axe to get him that early blink dagger. They do have one, but I want to see like either applying pressure on top or just getting that blink early as possible for Rasmus to look for constant kills.
I mean, he's definitely look at these spins. Oof. He's definitely putting the pressure down. That's exactly what we want to be seeing. OG though making just a couple more stacks over here. The chip vest also getting found is always very, very nice for these melee cores to pick up. And the shovel as well for an alchemist. I mean, that's pretty nice.
Shovel for alchemist with an oracle on your team. The dream. Some nice free mangoes, salves, etc. Opponent number one probably finished up very soon for the alchemist, and they're making an aggressive move.
Yeah, they smoked up for this. They'll find Seb hidden over in the jungle. They're just gonna burn out all of the mana, get a couple clicks off. They've got those shackles in place, and yeah, he's pretty tanky. But at the end of the day, he will eventually fall. Going over to Gilger.
Love it. Great move. With that ward that they placed from earlier from Gilger, they immediately make the heads-up swing, and they're even going to get a fast D ward. That was just placed out from OG.
That always feels bad as a support when your wards immediately get ripped down, but they do have a smoke coming out now from the side of OG. There's a lot of pressure being placed over here on Ana in this top lane, so they're hoping perhaps they can get the jump. Ofu. Off on the side.
Careful to not stand together for the coil. These two cores on Smashers right now.
They do spot out Tofu here on the side, so should be able to go burst him down. It's a nice quick pick off here for Thompson. As they keep looking, they do manage the coil, and it lands over onto two. They'll be able to burn down Gilger, and you do have the Ricky here over on the side. Rasmus gets a nice coil off. He needs a little bit more damage to finish them off, though. They'll use the Oracle ultimate to try to keep Thompson alive, but No Tail will eventually fall. The Smashers are just running after them here. Rasmus still trying to get his hands over here on Seb with Ace right behind him. The backstrats they go, and they immediately just place him right underneath them. Now the follow-up with the Impale. Hop forward here, coming out from Ana. Can they take down Ace? Yes, they can. As now Rasmus, he's hexed up. He was hoping he could find something else. Stormstormer's here, though. So is Tofu. They've got the track off. They can spot Ana over here on the side. Do they try to make the play? They're going to try with the EMP Tornado. Another hit down will go Ana. More teleports coming out. They're still wanting to skirmish here.
Filling Thompson bottle so he can keep his presence up top to look for the fight. Rasmus.
The track.
Very tanky.
They get the hex off immediately. Follow with the shackles. Good hit here from Sax to just buy them a little bit more time. Save Thompson. No Tail's healing him up over on the back lines.
I love the 5v5s in the top lane. 10-minute mark. It's my favorite part of Dota.
And it just keeps happening too, you know? They just won't stop. So they've got those Serpent Wards down over on the tab. They've got plenty of tracks out. They're going to try to purge it off. Follow it up, though, with another Tornado EMP. Fire Spike landing over onto two. Nice play here by Saxa. Buys them a little bit of time to run away, but Tofu still finds himself Thompson over here. He should be able to just orb away. But the aggression now is so real coming out from the side of HELLBEAR Smashers, and it's exactly what you want to see.
Absolutely, just bringing the fight to them. Rasmus almost has blink done now off of this. He didn't end up dying. He actually stayed alive during the whole thing. So his timing will be good, and they can continue to make this aggressive move. Now they can sandwich mid. They took that top tower. Now they have a lot more openness as OG, you know, the greed. It is a very greedy draft, so they know that they can fight versus on Smashers. Yeah, Rasmus is going to have blink on, so it's going to be really nice for that. Stormer, he's got good levels too. He's level 9.
Yeah. Rasmus has got to pop off here, but with that early blink dagger, it'll be nice. Ace and Ana here duking it out in the bottom lane. Tofu gets a nice snipe on the courier. It's coming back, so it wasn't carrying anything, I believe. But there it is. There's the blink for the axe. And now things get a little bit scarier for the side of OG.
How fast he's TPing too. Rasmus is already expecting a play to happen bottom. He TPs, sends his courier already preemptively to himself on the tier 2, grabs the blink. He's going to look for a swing over to help out Ace. They know that this is the next move that OG wants to play around.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
It's running over to actually meet Stormer, it looks like.
And the pressure.
They're going to smoke up.
Yeah, they're going to try to make a pinstring move. They're just going to mix Thompson over here. They're still making their way. They know Ana's down here. No Tail. Tofu. They have the dust, though. They're going to try to make a play. Jump over onto Tofu. They'll be able to root him into place. Trying to get this follow-up here. Nice call here coming up from Rasmus. He's able to just blow up Ana. And now Ace, he's hungry. He finds himself No Tail. Tricks the trade, get dropped, and they use the Dream Coil over on the back lines. Tofu goes down. Nice Earth Spike here from Saxa. We'll buy him just a little bit more time, and he's trying to juke around in the trees. It looks like they haven't quite found him. They're still trying to hunt. And eventually, though, Rasmus will find him with the dunk. And look at this. Beautiful here. Gilger drops those Serpent Wards, and they can press on with another objective.
great moves coming out. He's looking for, like, seizing the opportunity of targets, and now even finds an ancient stack too. Rasmus on point with his moves. 3-0-4. This is really good right now for Smashers. They're really bringing that pressure to this breed of OG. The tower they get denied.
Topson gonna be able to make it out here though. He does have the Waning Rift. He's all tracked up though. They've got a lot of damage here. I'm not sure if he's gonna make it out alive. Does have that other orb though. Looks like he's going to be able to survive. Oh, never mind! Rasmus from behind enemy lines. Max likes that indeed.
That one has to. Oh, I mean, I want to see. Let me see Rasmus' camera. Did he pop off at all with that? That one had to have been a good one.
Dire's structures are fortified.
I love when you get those type of swing arounds. And now it's no puck, so immediately swinging to mid with all 5 heroes, or 4. They can now also look to take down this tower. They're really punishing that greed. Sab, he's about to have the Ags done. So it's going to enable quite a bit of a power spike here for OG, especially for that Slark who's feeling kind of weak. That's going to change him a lot.
This efficiency just looks so incredibly good. Tornado over here, over onto Ana. He's going to immediately leash up over onto Stormstormer. They've got the track off. Tofu hunting on the back lines. Does manage to find No Tail. Ends up losing that courier.
Tofu's being a real nuisance, though. Just a little bit of information that he's given. That's kind of what caused like Rasmus to even jump the Slark down bottom, right? The bounty hunter giving that information for his team. And actually doing a lot more than I thought he'd be able to do as a 5-position bounty, I gotta be honest.
I mean, I think a lot of us were very surprised that he's been as effective as he is, right? Oh, we do have the Ags completed now for Seb. So that's coming online here.
Yeah, so our Slark now is a totally different beast. He was like pretty far behind on net worth. Now he's top net worth, and look at his stats. He got the Echo Saber first. Now he's 2,800 HP on the Slark. It's just very different how the next fight's
wild.
Is under attack. Radiant structures
So
are
here's the other thing, though, you have to keep in mind the fact that you do have a Blink Dagger coming out now too. So you've got a couple. Oh, they actually went into the pit during all this.
Yeah, they're actually.
Wow. All right.
Just taking. Rasmus is so tanky that they have the Serpent Wards for the damage. They could do this kind of freely.
I was not expecting that, to be quite honest. We dropped the Blink Dagger over here.
They got Ricky with Diffusal too, so if the fight comes to them like this, Ricky's now actually quite strong.
Oh, look at this. He's keeping it on the courier. So they won't realize that he's got it just yet.
I love seeing that.
Goes down. Ace.
It's so early that he has it too. Like, that could really catch OG off guard. The Shadow Shaman being so big just from some little tracks and little fights. Is now top. Rasmus, he's got Blink up in 3.
Oh gosh, yeah, they'll open up Tornado EMP. No Tail though hiding in the tree line. He's gonna try to protect him. Immediately call comes out and they go and they get off the Oracle ultimate. Got plenty of damage here. The Silence though, Ricky jumping onto the back lines. They're trying to keep the Oracle alive. They do manage to follow up with a beautiful Dream Coil. The Aegis does expire. Seb joining in with everyone else here, but he has to be careful. The follow up, the finger comes out. Down goes Ace, and the pounce is out here from Ana as he's just forcing his way through. Here over onto Stormstorm, but they don't quite have that detection over on the side though. You can see Rasmus doing whatever he can. Does manage to get the kill over onto No Tail. They're still chasing after Stormstorm. They haven't quite managed to get their hands on him though. They have the vision. Eventually the orb will collect. Saksa ticking down over here to the Battle Hunger. Eventually falls. Rasmus though, he's trying. He's got that blade mail. He's giving the spins out. Seb making his way over here. The pounds forward again, coming out. And Rasmus, he's just surviving for so long. Eventually though, they finally managed to take him out.
Oh man, and we see the real play, the real display of the power of the Slark with all those.
Tofu?
Seb?
Tofu?
He's got him.
I can't believe he stuck around. You know there's a bounty hunter in this game.
The 5-position bounty kills the 3-position alchemist.
I don't think he does. Ooh, pounce again. Gilgear turns around. He's gonna just try to buy a little bit of time, waiting for the rest of his team to show up. Not gonna be able to really do anything more than that, but he does survive.
Crazy fight, and I think now they have to really just be a little more careful on Smashers is to get on No Tail. You can't let him get the ulti off. They have to get either a Cloud, some type of disable or something onto him, because they threw everything onto the Slark to kill him, right? They used Tornado, they used Axe Call, they used Rinky Cloud, but they did not pay attention to where the Oracle's positioned. He gets the full save off, and that kind of turns the whole fight pretty quickly. Unable to just constantly reset in and out of the fight over and over again.
There it is. There's that crit. Oof. Another fight breaking out as they do manage to find the Oracle. This time they're going to take him out first. There's the Hex, the track, everything over here as they shackle this right into place. The leap forward, though, coming out from Ana, and they have a nice Dream Coil as well, but he's taking so much damage. Skilker does eventually fall. They have a Hex picks off over onto the back lines. This line swirling around in place, though, as Erasmus following up. Can they get the final hit off? Yes, they will. Here, as they take down Thompson, they'll take down Saksa, and it's a triple kill for Ace. Plus the gem.
The gem, like, Noto had a gem on him. They just went out and killed him with like 2-3 swings, and they get a gem. That's massive, especially with their lineup. They're Ricky bounty hunters. Now they can take out all those sentries, any of them that are purchased up to them to close the map too. That is a huge window and some nice spell casting coming out from Stormstormer. The ice wall at the end, real clutch.
I mean, it's one of those situations where this hurts so badly now that they lost this, because yes, they want to keep tabs over on Tofu. They want to be able to, you know, get some of those D words, but now they've already got so much vision on the side of HELLBEAR Masters, just in the fact that they do have, you know, a Ricky, you do have a bounty hunter, and now they're ripping down all of the vision that you placed too.
Yeah, did they even keep it, or did they send? I think they just send it back to base. I think you're like, you know what? Do we even need gem? Maybe we'll bring it only if we, like, you know, have some positions where we need to deward, but they don't need a gem versus OG. So put it back at the base. Forget about it for some time. Be very happy that you just stole 1,000 gold from the enemy team.
Gotta feel very sad if you're the support who's buying gems and then losing them almost immediately. They're gonna try to make a play. Tofu is here though. They dropped the sentry, but they don't have the. Oh, good sidestep over here. Saksa just a little bit off the mark. Pounds coming out though from Ana. There's gonna be a finger. Are they gonna be? They're not quite able to get the kill. Oh, at the last second, the finger comes out, but Ana falling to Ace. Gilgir looking for this opening. We'll find the kill on No Tail, and they're just holding Thompson down. He's not looking like he's gonna be able to escape. Does have the orb though. Might be able to just blink out on the jump forward though. Again, coming out from Rasmus as he barely manages to save Gilgir over here on the side. Ace following up, jumping over onto the back lines. He's got his eyes over here onto No Tail. He just fought back. He can't afford a die back, and he does. He goes down. Ana trying, that won't be able to finally take down Ace. As now Ana, he's still hunting. He would love to grab himself. He does have that blade mail. Good tornado will buy him a bit more time though. Another leash though coming out. The pounce eventually down will go the axe.
Oh man, long duration fight for the Slark ends up being too successful. Look at his essence shift stats.
Oh my god. 34.
102 bonus agility. And he also, there was like 2 different timings that ended up happening there. He got the SNY, he got the lifesteal talent. He actually doesn't worry too much about that Blade Mail Axe calling him, which if he didn't have either one of those, perhaps they actually can clean up that Slark, but he resets. No Tail buys back to save him again, and he's able to just overall win the fight because of that. That's Thompson.
That's the E-Blade, but Thompson will orb away. The rest of the team hot on his heels now.
These two are being quite a bit of a nuisance. Thompson and Ana, they're just living too long inside of the fights. Like, Thompson got so many spells off inside that fight too, because they were focused so much on killing the Slark. I think he got like 5 or 6 different orbs and winning rift combos. So it is a bit difficult for them to solve the problem of the 2 elusive carries seemingly on OG.
Well, I mean, that's just the nature of this sort of thing, right? Is the fact that they can just pop in, poke, back out, go back in. And again, the longer the fight goes, the happier Ana is on the Slark. This gives him more and more essence shifts to just work with here.
Yeah, the Invoker spells just start, they really just start going on cooldown. Like, Stormstormer actually threw out like his entire kit. His Deafening Blast Disarm was sick. He was actually defending his teammates really nicely with it. But yeah, these long fights, the Slark is always going to just thrive the most. Especially, like you said, getting that lifesteal talent. Now he's got an ulti orb too. 3,000 health Slark. It's getting quite problematic.
And a lot of it comes down to just getting that initiation and trying to burst him. And they had some success earlier, but it, like you said, getting more and more difficult now. Top tower, though, getting pressured. Erasmus realizing that no one's going to be coming here to help defend, so he's going to run forward, take a little bit of the tower, and punch it. But
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Still so close. It's gonna be so much up to like you were saying, like, it's really gonna be if they can explode a target first or not, if they can get on this Oracle. No-Tail's been a real nuisance. They gotta get on him. They have to disable him. They can't let him get his ultis off if Rasmus is getting these calls off.
The pressure, follows it though immediately here. Big old meatball coming through. Seb's just dead. That's a very fast hit and run coming out here from the side of the HELLBEAR Smashers. Ace.
I love it. I love aggressive 4-staff plays.
Sleeping Dart.
Just blink 4 staffs the Alchemist out of the base so they can get that Hex when he's kind of on low ground.
They're not looking to let up here at all. Rasmus going very far forward. Looking to tank up any of the spells they want to throw at them. Ace sitting back, waiting patiently. Couple hits here. Do get the Dream Coil. And it's going to snap. 4-staff forward, though. Buy them a bit more time. And, of course, Stormstorm will be able to go invis here. Sleeping Dart lands over onto the Slark. Take a little nap now, Fishy. But
That dart could be a pretty good solution to break the Oracle, right? Just
True.
if you see him, just throw a dart onto him. They have multiple different forms now to be able to control him.
it's kind of an interesting. It's been fun with this patch, especially seeing how things are just unfolding, the way that the meta is being played, and seeing all these teams kind of doing some experimenting.
Yeah.
Position 5 bounty hunter here. It's working out. We were a little skeptical.
We've done full circle, right? We were seeing Alchemist 3 position last season, and then people just stopped doing it. Now it's back. You know, we're just going to be bringing back some things that were as old as new.
The factory Alch. OD Pixel's favorite version of playing this hero, it seems.
Owen and Slacks somehow just always find some weird stuff.
They're having fun.
Oh, no. He is spotted, though. He knows he's spotted, too.
Can they make a play here, though, is the question. Thus,
Smashers want to get the wraparound. They have to get some type of vision on the map. Right now, they don't really have anything. So they don't know where the Oracle is. They have to keep tabs of where he is. Saksa, he's got Blink. So now he's got an easier way to get into the fights, too. He's been struggling quite a bit on this line, 0, 5, and 5.
Dire are scanning.
it is very hard to play this game as a Lion, but Sep charging up.
Good.
It's not going to find anyone. Tofu throwing out the frack. Immediately, Stormstormer following up is going to get pounced over on the back lines, but the jump into the back lines as well coming out here from the side of HELLBEARs. Can they do anything here? Snap forward here. Are they going to end up losing Ace? They try to. They buy a little bit more time. They take down Saksa. And they've got the Oracle. The Ace does eventually fall as Ana's just pouncing around, trying to get the jump over here onto Tofu. They're trying to just burst them down. Can they do it in time? No, it looks like that stable concoction going to buy them a little bit more time here as eventually Tofu falling. They just can't get their hands over on that Oracle. And now Gilgear holding on for dear life. He's hoping perhaps, can they get this kill? Yes, they will. They'll be able to take down Thompson. Rasmus with a good call. They need to get some more damage, but look at the stacks over here over on Ana. He's sitting at 34.
They get the grab on Thompson this time, though. Gilger's able to finally get his hands on him, and they got follow-up to clean him up. Ace did have to buy back, though, to join back into the fight. So did Tofu. So they do have to get something else out of it. Roche does spawn, so they can actually look for that since Thompson's dead for 40 seconds.
Ace is creeping his way over here into the Roche pit.
Ana still has stacks, though, right? Yeah, he still has 34 stacks, so they're actually going to swing over to fight right away. Might be too problematic for Smashers. This Slark is still quite scary.
And they know that the bounty hunter isn't there, too.
Yeah.
Are they going to try to take this themselves? Do they dare? Do you think that's...
Why not? Slark stays full HP while doing it because of lifesteal in this, but being a little hesitant.
I'm just afraid, like, the initiation coming out from Smashers, right, with everybody being up. It's kind of scary.
Definitely is, especially when they have no way to keep tabs. They only have that one ward in the mid to know where the axe is, and it's really everything. Like, it's really Rasmus. Just he's gonna be the main one when watching the calls that he's getting. He's doing such a good job this game. 929, Blink, BKB. He's now holding the gem. So now that we're around that Roshan time, he wants to have the vision around the area as Saksa.
Well, the jump forward immediately over to Gilgear. Just gonna try to blow him up, and they can't do it quite fast enough. Oh, never mind. They can. Rasmus just a little bit too late there with the blink forward. Yankee getting tossed out. Ana wants this kill to get the track off, though, over here onto Slark. Immediately going to purge it off. Buyback coming out now from Gilgear. This OG takes over the triangle. Gilgear sitting on the low ground. Ana on the hunt. I hear a Dream Coil over on 2 on the back lines. They find Rasmus. They find Stormstormer. The jump forward, though. They're trying to get rid of No-Tail as fast as possible. And he's going to actually use his ulti on himself here. So he'll turn back around. Ana. He's got his eyes over here on Ace. He's trying to just take him out, and he's not going to be able to quite do it because Rasmus is able to drag Ana back. He's got the tricks of the trade going in again. Will survive. They drop the wards over on the side. This is not looking great for Gilgear, though, because Ana has his eyes over on the prize. Still not able to take down Saksa, not able to take down No-Tail. As Ana hunting on the back lines, Rasmus running for his life. Tofu should be able to notice here. It's not going to quite land that pounce. Thompson was considering going for this little bit of a dive.
As soon as OG sees the axe, you can see how they just immediately go for him. They know that if this axe isn't getting a good call to start the fight, then OG's got a great way of access. And it was 3 buybacks that Smashers has used in these last few moments. This Shadow Shaman's dead for these whole 40 seconds. The Ricky, if he died, which he almost did, he would have been dead for 70 or so. So Smashers had to be pretty careful inside that fight. That's why they back away. And Thompson, he's actually just toying with Stormstormer. Since this Invoker doesn't have BKB, Thompson's literally just resetting on top of him over and over again, making his life so much more difficult to actually connect spells.
Look at this. Look at the way they're just running at Stormer. Does have a sentry ward down. Ana hoping he could get his little fishy hands on him, but it's a little bit too slow there.
This is nice. Ace has a DD. Doesn't have his BKB though, so he can get chain stunned and die. Does have to be cautious.
Again, it's so much on Rasmus here.
It is.
Oh, it's Thompson playing with the axe. The Hex comes out. Ana joining in now. He just wants to get rid of this axe. He doesn't want to get locked down here. BKB does come out over on the back lines. Ace trying to make a play over onto Seb. Not going to be able to quite do it. Dream Coil does get used, but it doesn't end up connecting on anyone over here.
Big whiff there from Thompson. They could have probably gotten at least one of those kills there.
Sleeping Dart on the Slark. Look at Soxa, though. His positioning right behind in case anybody tries to jump on him. You're going to immediately be answered, as Rasmus does have to back off, though.
He has no BKB for 50 seconds, so OG probably feeling they can make their way out without that axe being on the map for now. And Ana, I think that's his next item finished up. Yeah, full Scotty now.
Oof.
3,500 HP on the Slark.
I'll send in one of the Forge Spirits, try to get some vision. Stormer doing everything he can here. He's thrown out all of his spells, just trying to interrupt this Roche, trying to slow them down, trying to get any information killed here. Force forward, follow. There's a tornado. Ana's still very, very healthy, though, inside this pit. They go and they drop the Serpent Wards, too.
Okay.
Maybe a bit premature here, because now they're, it's going to sit back. Ana just farming up.
Still down. Raptors can't go for 8 seconds. He knows this, too. They do get a nice wrap around Tofu, but now he's spotted.
Yeah, he gets forced down, low ground, Pounce comes out, Hex and everything here should be able to just eliminate this bounty hunter. So Roshan comes out of his pit. He wants to know what all the noise is about here, Fogged.
Oh, the noise is that Tofu's dead for a very long time. Now they have a 4v5 fight. And they don't have Serpent Wards. They're throwing spells to scout.
Looking very, very difficult to pop out of the pit here, coming out from Ana. Hoping to get the jump, tops it over the back lines, but did he go just perhaps a little bit too far because they do have that call. They use the Dream Call. They're perfectly happy to stand there as they take down Thompson. They're going to go right back in. The roof gets taken by the Radiant. They have to pick it up quickly. Okay, it's going to be Ana who picks it up. Immediately followed up here, Gilgear trying to just hold him into play. Stormer running out. They'll end up losing Gilgear. Pounces are out, though. Can they get Stormer in time? Rasmus is already BKB TP'd out. He's hunting. They have the gem. He wants this so badly. Just doesn't quite have the pounce. He's a little bit too far from the mark, but Stormer, he's got his dancing shoes out. He's going to try to just hide. He's going so deep into the base. Eventually, though, Ana hunts down his prey. Rasmus, though, is here. Does have the call. We'll try to drag him back. I'm not sure about this, friend. You might just end up dying here to Ana as he's leashed. The blade mail does a bit. The tower also trying its best. Seb also trying to dive past these towers to also give a little hands. I mean, they have a tier 2 up in mid, Fogged.
He's just accumulating stacks. That's what he'd tell you. He knows it's not a risk. All these heroes, they did use buyback earlier, so he knew he could go for these type of dive plays. And oh man, it's just a tough fight for Smashers to really get into at all. When they have to throw all these spells just to scout out the health of the Roche, and then they get jumped on initially themselves, and the Axe has to wait for BKB. It's awkward. It really is for Smashers. As Thompson, he dies, but it's almost like he kind of baited them over there a little bit to finish off that Roche.
Made a little bit of space. Again, they do have the gem over here on the Slark. Blade mail from Rasmus. The force board with the Hex. He's gonna throw out one of those big old sun strikes. It barely does anything, though, sidestepping around this tornado. Ace trying to find the angle. Can't quite figure out how to get in there. Does have the alacrity. They're waiting for Rasmus to get another jump off. More tracks being placed. No tail. They have their eyes on him. And just traps being thrown out for days. Yeah, they're trying. It's hard. Sleeping Dart. He's gonna heal up Slark, wait patiently, and he's gonna hop into the back tree line here. Gets spotted here by the Forge Spirits.
He's so safe with this Oracle behind. Like, they have to somehow get to no-tail, but it's so hard. Thompson's just waiting, covering him. It's just Ana really showing his face.
Every single spell that they can use on this guy. And all right, there it is. 3-man Dream Coil coming out from Thompson as he leaps into the back lines. Ana to follow up as well. And again, we get that whole nice hit here coming out from the Oracle. No tail, though, sitting very, very low. But he's gotten his spells off, and that's the important part. Seb runs away. Rasmus, he's looking. He wants to get the dunk up. Not quite going to be able to get it, though.
And that's his BKB and the Coley call down as well. Oh, no.
I don't know how they make this fish leave their base.
Slow him down. least a little bit, but yeah, they can't stop him. He's even just bouncing away from this EMPs constantly.
I get the Hex off.
To annoy him.
Well, it was going a little bit far here, though. They do have to be careful. They've got the call here coming out, and the finger not quite enough to finish off Guild Gear here. Although Ana, he wants it. He goes right in. Can they lock him down for long enough? No, they can't. Again, that fountain diving coming out from the side of OG. He is separated from the rest of the team, but he will be back in a flash because he's right over here on the back lines. I hear a call going out. Cataclysm comes through. Soxa goes down. They finally get their hands on No-Tail. They'll finally get that kill, but now they have to force out the rest of them, and it's just looking so difficult. The Bounty Hunter now going to buy back. Rasmus getting another call, drawing back here over onto Ana, over on the back line, so they do manage to go, and they'll be able to take down Ace. They don't have all that damage that they desperately need. Another pounce here from Ana is just chasing after them. Still has the vision over here on Stormer. He'll back off, and he'll just start hitting those buildings.
Oh, Ace jumped outside trying to like quickly go for Seth, but Thompson's still, he just had Dream Coil available. They just killed him, and now Ace is gone for 80, and they really do need that Ricky damage coming into play. It can't just be the rest of them. This is likely just another Seth.
Radiant's middle tower.
I don't know how they get them to leave. Again, like we said.
They killed No-Tail the once, and No-Tail just buys back and runs all the way back over.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
Too much for them to deal with.
Stormer continuing to just throw out his spells the best that he can, trying to make something happen, trying to slow them down at all. Okay, another call here from Rasmus to drag back, but No-Tail, he's just always in the right position at the right time. The buybacks are coming out, though. They want to try to make something happen. This Ace is so far back over on the back lines here, and they still can't seem to kill Ana. He's over in the base. They used everything here. They finally used the Serpent Wards, just clicking away over here on the Slark, and he's still here. He's still regenning. Look at this Slark. He doesn't even care. He's just taking a bath in the middle of all these guys.
I like this Ricky Cloud with the Serpent Wards. He couldn't kill them. He was missing them.
Entire time, Thompson leaping in. The coil gets used. Ana's just allowed to survive and walk out. They use everything on him. Thompson is just waiting over here. Rasmus trying to time it just right. Nice waning rift. Followed up here. And again, the blade now does a decent amount, so they should be able to finally get the kill over onto Thompson. But Ana has just been allowed to live forever. Aegis is about to expire. They find the kill on Soxa. They just can't seem to get their hands on the Slark as No-Tail gets left behind. He is going to have to be the sacrifice as all of the HELLBEAR Smashers just circle around him and finally kill him off again.
Does cost another buyback, though. Ace kind of just killing his net worth to have to, because he just has to defend these racks, doesn't want to lose them, so they will have to use those buybacks. But Ana, OG, they do take the timer. They know that Aegis is going to be going down. He does escape nice and safely and swing around and pick up some bounty runes for his Alchemist to get bonus gold. So Smashers, they do hold, but it's expensive.
I'm just concerned that you watched as Stormer throw out literally every single spell that he possibly could in that fight. And just No-Tail's positioning was so good. They have plenty of ways to buff up the Slark, right? You've got, the fact that they've got the Solar Crest. You've also got a Vlad's, and he's already got that lifesteal. I just don't know how they kill him at this point. I feel like, Ace, he's doing the best he can, but it's a suicide mission every time.
It's literally gonna have to be everything, right? They're gonna have to get a call with a Cataclysm with absolutely everything thrown on them while everyone else is somehow controlled. So that's gonna be a pretty tough ask for the Smashers to do now at this point. This Slark is just too big. He's at 4,000 HP. Like you said, throwing everything onto him, it doesn't matter. He's able to just lifesteal through it. He has two different ways to protect himself with his ult and with the Depth Shroud. It's just, it's so difficult for them.
It was looking like so nice. The HELLBEAR Smashers, you saw Rasmus, he was getting those kills in lane. He was getting a fast blink online. He was making the right moves, but it just felt like once Alk picked up that Ags and handed it off over to the Slark, things just started sliding out of control.
Tower is under attack.
And now the second Ags will be delivered. Who's he going to give this one to? He's going to give it to Thompson. So Thompson's got this amazing Aghanims now versus these BKBs that HELLBEAR Smashers has been kind of relying on in the fights. And I believe the Alchemist also picked the Berserk Potion, so the Slark will also be able to pop off with that. I don't know if he had that before.
I'm not sure.
More buffs is pretty much just what it ends up being. Solar Crest Vlad's Berserk Potion, as well as they're actually running in the triangle.
Look at the way they just immediately try to run. Tofu with the Force Staff. He's trying to outrun them. Soxa's trying pretty hard, and so is Ana. He's just pouncing forward here. Daring him to come forward is just going to focus down over on the building. Stormer throws out that tornado. Buys a little bit more time. EMP, but the pounce away. Rasmus just a little bit too slow, or perhaps Ana just a little bit too quick.
At this point, that EMP, it's not going to do This is an 1800 mana Slark. So.
Yes.
That's a lot.
I mean, I'm not sure what they hope to do to him, just period here. Look at this. Just walks on in. All right, they'll try opening with the call again, and they follow up with a very nice dream call. Again, this is an axe. So they have their own Agnums, and they'll turn around. They'll hold down the Slark for a little bit, but Seb jumping in, and look, this Ana's just going right for those back lines. Wants to get rid of HELLBEAR. Does have to be a little bit careful, though. He's dove pretty far here. Again, has the pounce. Cataclysm coming out. Did Seb go a little bit too far? Yes, he did. Down he goes, though. Immediately buying back. As Ana looking for his next victim. Does get hexed up. But No-Tail is standing right behind. Sleep Dart, though, over onto the back lines. They might be able to make something happen here. So just keep dodging in and out. But again, No-Tail with that save. They just can't seem to kill Ana here. The disarm going right back. They have the shackle. They're just slowing him down. We keep seeing all these darts flying out. They're just trying really, really hard, but they're not managing to find this opening as Ace gets controlled yet again, and Ana just going right into the back lines, kills HELLBEAR. The rest of them.
There's too many little buffs being thrown at him and too many dispels being thrown at him, just keeping him full HP, keeping him just having 30 stacks or more. Now they're just starting to hit buildings. Rasmus.
Trying to go after Thompson here, but still not able to do it. The control comes out over here onto Rasmus. 3-man Dream Coil. Push forward, try and get them back into the fountain, or trying to snap it. I'm not sure, but look at Ana. He's just chasing down Stormer. Starts going over into the fountain again. He will back off. Saxon needs to be careful. He's getting clicked pretty hard here as Rasmus finds a dump, but it's a nice effect going right back in again. Ana jumping forward, gets the kill on Tofu. HELLBEAR Smashers, they're trying to defend. They're trying to just throw their bodies at them. Ana having to be a bit careful. Seb throwing out that unstable concoction. Namus just going in deep here. Has his eyes over here onto Rasmus. Can he get this kill? Yes, he wants a triple kill now. Tornado Ice, while he's just chasing after Stormer, he can't stay alive. Somehow, during all of this, he's still alive. The GG gets called. They realize they just cannot. They cannot do anything to this Slark, despite their best tries.
Ace's breaking line was pretty appropriate right there. Why prolong the inevitable? As that game was definitely over as they were diving the fountain there with all those stacks on the Slark. Yeah, that was a pretty solid early game from Smashers, but the timing did come out. OG, they got that big fight in the jungle. I think that's the biggest one for me. The Slark hit the SNY timing, the level 15 talent that BSJ was talking about with the lifesteal, and they get these clutch saves off.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
stop because I just want to be one. I need for you to know that from the start you weren't alone, cause you're
The first game of this best of 3 goes the way to OG over HELLBEAR Smashers. You're watching Dream League Season 15 powered by Intel. This is the upper division of the Western European DPC League, and we said for HELLBEAR Smashers to have a shot this game, it would be Beastmaster that would get, or not Beastmaster, Axe, that would have to get out of control. And to be fair, HELLBEAR Smashers put up one hell of a show, and they were almost able to get a very convincing lead, but then it all fell apart and ended in a fountain farming, stack farming Slark game for OG. And they took the game.
You know,
go for it.
I'd say behind PL, Slark is probably the best fountain diver in the game, and it kind of speaks to their draft. One of the few heroes that can just ignore the fountain for a very long period of time. And Cap, do you know what his max stack of Essence Shift was that game?
I think it was somewhere between 60 and 70.
Yeah, between 68 and 70, actually. It was 69 stacks of Agi. It was quite quite a nice game for Ana. As I just want to say, besides that stupid point, that Lion found a Paladin sword in the jungle at 38 minutes into the game. I don't know if you guys know, but that item drops at 27 minutes into the game, and that speaks a lot to what we just watched.
Yes.
Thank you, Brian. Now for the hard-hitting analysis.
No, that was the hard-hitting. That's what people came here for. That's what they care about.
Well, then I don't know what else to say. I've got no fluff off of that. No, seriously, HELLBEAR Smashers actually did a sick job. Shout out to Rasmus. That guy, he was trying so hard. It's like, please, God, I just want to beat OG. Let me carry you guys.
And he was doing that as a call, too. Like,
yeah, and he was doing that every single call. He was doing the misery scream that we have several good pictures of. And they got close, but sadly, it only takes like one bad team fight against these these off-lane Alchemist lineups are like really bad to lose team fights too. Yep. Especially with the Slark.
Especially with the Slark that gets an Ags as the first player that gets got the Ags from Seb's Alchemist, and Purge is here to talk about the death ball of that Ags.
Thanks, Shiver. Yeah, we were a little unsure how the Alk Ags going with Slark would turn out, but what's really amazing with it is that their whole draft came together in a really nice way. Normally, Slark needs some magic immunity at some point to have some survivability, but pairing it with an Oracle support in some of these early crucial game moments where HELLBEAR Smashers was initiating made Slark feel like a really strong hero, because the Ags functions both now as a offensive and a defensive item effectively, because in those really bad moments, Oracle can cover those gaps. You don't need Disable from something like a Diffusal Blade, but between the double pounce and the Echo Saber, it's more than enough to like stay alive in the front of your team and be basically all the things your team wants to do. The frontliner, the tower hitter, the initiator, the counter initiator. It kind of just covers a lot of bases and makes it really easy for your team to fight. So HELLBEAR Smashers kind of knowing they're a bit on the back foot as a result of this Ags on Slark. They do get some kills. They go for some pretty deep dives here, and they had a really good team fight. But the problem is that even though they got a lot of track kills here, and it looked like a really bad moment for OG, the important thing is that once all of these guys are dead, they look at the map and they're like, we got to go push out lanes now, guys. And then OG glyphs the top wave, and it basically didn't matter what they accomplished here outside of getting some nice net worth. So then it kind of just became a game where eventually OG was able to move into the Roche pit. And this is where the game really changed, because they got this Ags advantage. And with some really nice fighting here, they're able to control the Roche pit, take Roche, take Aegis, and get a shard on top of Slark, which is going to further compound how strong he is by effectively giving him a Refresher Orb with a second ultimate, which is a really nice advantage for him to have. He can protect his teammates, and he just got to do those crazy shenanigans in the late game. So I was a little unsure how well the Slark would work with the gifted eggs, but OG absolutely made it work despite the nerfs to Alchemist that made the hero less effective. They found something that fit their playstyle and gave them a pretty solid win, and off of some great plays.
Yeah, great place indeed. I have to talk about the Bounty Hunter, because we were pretty critical about a Bounty Hunter position 5. Now, in hindsight, obviously they lost, but was it that bad?
No, I don't think it was that bad. I think they were 1 or 2 engagements from snowballing that game. Ricky, pretty good hero for disabling Slark, because you have to buy a BKB if you want full effectiveness against the Cloud, because there's no other way to deal with it. But he didn't want to buy one, as Purge pointed out. He has the Alchemist Ags to make him tankier, the Oracle to back him up. So it definitely made Slark's job of solo carrying the game a bit more difficult, coupled with the fact that you can't purge the disarm from Invoker. So it took him a while to come online, but eventually it's just like a wall that keeps, or like a battering ram that just keeps banging against the wall and eventually breaks through.
Yeah, I think the Bounty Hunter lane especially went better than I expected, just because I thought that, like, the Axe lane going well is expected because they actually built like a really strong duo.
Yeah.
But the Bounty Hunter being this 5 position, I wasn't really sure how they would actually be able to walk out of that laning phase feeling good, but they did well enough. And then once you do well enough, then you're getting track kills, and then everything's kind of forgiven. The sad part is ultimately, though, they're against an Alchemist, and that's more gold than track.
When there's an Alchemist in the game.
It's an Alchemist game.
It's an Alchemist game. Great. We're going to find out if Game 2 is also going to be an Alchemist game, or this time around we'll have maybe no Alchemist in the game. Maybe it's going to get bad. We'll find out after the break.
Dire team pick. OG's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. OG's turn to pick. Dire team pick.
I'm gonna be out of breath for this. Oh, hello, welcome back. We got game 2 coming. HELLBEAR Hellbear Smashers OG Upper Division of Western European DPC League Dream League Season 15, powered by Intel. I'm here with Cap and BSJ, and they're gonna talk Dota to us. It's gonna be nice.
Sweet,
Very nice.
Dota.
Oh yeah. See,
I can't go that deep.
that's what we should have the soundboard.
Yes, we've been telling production we need our own soundboard.
We do. We would like one. Can we get one?
You think they're gonna bounty hunter again? I wonder if that nose bites the bullet.
Honestly, I'm okay with them bounty hunting again if they want. I think, like we said, we doubted its laning stage, and they knew it better than we did.
No.
They're pulling a page out of Liquid's book, going for the Abaddon Leshrac. Don't know how I feel about it. I'd really like to see a punishment coming out from OG in the mid lane from Thompson. I'm thinking Lena. I'm thinking Pugna if we're going more up a Thompson's alley. I guess this could just be a mid tiny, but once you see the enemy mid pick like this, I'd be totally down for them to swap it up a little bit and just dominate this Leshrac. I don't think this hero's first roundable, and it hasn't been punished yet in either of the two series we've watched.
Yeah, and I think that Tiny, when you melee 4 positions, feel a lot better when you have Grimstroke 5.
Dire team ban.
Yeah, you just have a easy +1
Yeah.
to make stuff happen.
Yeah, and some flexibility as well
Turn to ban.
with that, of course. So let's see. Last time I think most of our mid-game bans or mid-phase bans, like this phase of bans, we mostly had carries targeted. I wonder if they're gonna do that again.
Dire team ban.
They're gonna keep banning away the Medusa, because that is the Hellbear Smashers. It feels like they've got just a couple of strategies that they look really good on, and the Medusa is absolutely one of them.
Isn't it crazy how Dota works? That like I see Medusa virtually ignored by every other team in DPC, and you have to ban it against a specific team because they've made it work so well.
Yeah,
That's what I love about Dota.
I think it's really cool that both a player and a team as a whole can be good enough on a hero that, despite, we always talk about, drafting being this big, chess match and all that sort of thing, like individual performance still does matter.
Yeah.
It's like a deck building chess, because you got to have the right cards. You got to be able to play the right cards.
Smashers aren't going to ban Alchemist because this time around they have Leshrac and Abaddon, so they already have tower pressure and they already have damage. And damage was something that they kind of were running out of in that last game.
Very good analysis, Cap.
Thank you. You keep on talking about the number between 68 and 70, Brian.
Do you think there will be Moxie laughed at that real hard
Yeah,
in
we
the
can,
back.
hear her, we can hear her in the back.
Do you think that an emphasis is put like, okay, we just saw Anna play Slark, great. Do you think he'll say, you know what, I don't want to play Slark again, give me something different? Obviously, he will play something different, but is that a factor?
So my prediction is Anna will be playing Spectre, which is not Slark. So
Yeah.
I think they will be picking something.
I did play with a offlane Spectre recently.
Did it go Meteor?
There was a European player who
think that's
said,
the only way to
I
make it
only win with Spectre. Doesn't matter what position, I only win with Spectre. And he was going to play 4 position. I said, no, sir, please. Allow me to play 4. And
Did he
you
go
play
Meteor
3.
Hammer? That seems to be the way to make it work.
No, he didn't.
But do you think that Anna might be the player that would say like, yeah, don't give me the same hero twice. That's not fun.
He kind of like picked Spectre all at TI8, so
that's fair.
The only time they actually they were first overall picking Spectre by the end of that tournament, and the only time they stopped picking it was the finals. Maybe he's gonna treat it a bit differently.
I mean, this is not TI final.
Yeah, since it's DPC, but this is how they get the TI. So.
If it's for less money than a mil, and it's not playing the same.
It has to be at least 200K a game that he's making from that series for him to really step it up.
Okay.
And bite the bullet to have to play the same hero twice in a row.
Very importantly, actually, philosophical question here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you fountain farm? It doesn't count as fountain farming if you are outside of the fountain.
No, like Monkey King ult, that's not fountain farming.
Okay, so sniper isn't fountain farming.
No, that's not fountain farming.
Okay, so when it comes to carries that can fountain farm.
Wait.
Yes,
Shiva.
I think if you're sniper, you get vision on the fountain.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, right?
You still count as fountain farming because your enemies are in the fountain. That's, I think, if your enemies are dying in the fountain, then you're fountain farming no matter where you're positioned.
It's just not the same, though. It's not, there's no like mental damage.
Yeah. From an OG, it's not OG fountain farm.
Like, you have to also be surviving their fountain. And it's saying, like, like, if you're a sniper, you're saying that if I were to walk in there, I'd die, but I can kill you from over here. It's like, if you're diving the fountain, tanking the fountain, you're literally saying there's nothing you'll ever do to survive this.
So that's fountain diving. There's fountain diving and fountain farming.
Okay, fine. That actually even makes a
Okay,
good
you know
point.
what?
So
This is a
fountain
good
diving.
discussion. I
All right,
like this.
so
Okay.
what I'm leading to here
Fountain
is
diving, yes.
Phantom Lancer is number 1
Okay. Yeah.
at fountain diving.
Yeah.
Slarker's number 2.
Yeah.
Spectre number 3.
Bristleback Spectre, I'd put in the
Yeah.
same category there.
Okay,
'Cause you,
okay.
like, you take so much damage, you just kill them with it.
Anyway, there's a draft, and they did indeed switch things up, I believe, and OG now have a puck.
They picked Puck in response to the Lion.
Yeah, and the Wraith King is a hero that Ace really likes. He played it all their games when they played against Tundra. Obviously, 2 of those were losses, but it is definitely one of his most comfort heroes.
It's a good Wraith King game. He's geared up to probably be against a 4 Tiny, which it's difficult to toss a Wraith King because of the skeletons if he ever is ready for you to do it. And then also, Tiny's all about that combo, and so is Puck. And you got a hero that needs to be killed twice. I don't think it's the best carry to capitalize on having an Abaddon 5, so that's a bit of a concern to me. You don't necessarily need the defensive tools of Abaddon, so what that means is that Tofu will most likely be playing around the Leshrac throughout the course of, I'd say until like maybe 25-30 minutes in.
Any chance to make sure, like, are you at all worried about their lane having a double melee?
That's what I mean. Like, it is a bit of a concern.
So do you think that
like, what if they just go Axe, you know?
Do you think 3 Abaddon is a thing at all?
With Lion,
because that would actually put our melee range like.
The thing is, I think against Spectre, you can get away with like a really greedy 3, meaning like the Centaurs. You know, OG already banned it out. It's like
And
this 3 that's just
Rasmus
gonna
likes
feast or famine.
those type
Yeah,
heroes
he
as
does.
well.
What else is there? They might even ban the Axe themselves on OG because they're afraid of it. I think Axe would be really good for OG. What other hero like heavy punishes melee?
He has, Rasmus has played Enigma, Legion, Sand King, Pango, and he had a Dazzle game, but that kind of was a one-off.
Sand King or Legion, I think, would be nice for OG. Legion would be nice for.
Do you think Lesh punishes that? Because they could do Lesh 3. Abaddon is your 5, but he plays in the off lane. And
I actually have a lot of experience on Lesh 3. It doesn't feel that great against Spectre. I think the way to punish Spectre is to actually just hit for 15 more damage than Spectre because their base damage is so low and you just get every CS.
Okay.
I think that's the best way. Leshrac's base damage is pretty low. Usually Lesh is nice against kill heroes like the Slarks and the Ursas. Your high move speed and you can get CS from range. That's when I like Lesh off.
So they do ban Rasmus's Enigma. The Sand King is still there. It's one that you mentioned that I kind of like.
Let's see. They're going to have to reveal their hand before OG reveals theirs. By the way, OG still also has 1.5 minutes left into their bonus time, while HELLBEAR Smashers has got 5 seconds total. So at the end of
high base damage.
Underlord.
That's what I like.
And good against Puck.
Yeah.
Very
This is a good pick. I like
And
it.
Chunky.
Chonky.
And the Elder Titan coming out.
Ooh, the Seb Elder Titan. That punishes double melee.
That does.
Yeah,
That absolutely punishes double melee.
takes advantage of the skeletons as well.
Buffs up all the damage that they've got on OG. Pretty much all magical damage for the first 20 minutes of the game.
And it does mean they're going to be taking more damage from dispersion as well, I think. So
Yeah, just if, you know, the key counter to this is that if HELLBEAR just doesn't do any magic damage to the Spectre because the return damage of dispersion is the same damage type, then the ET won't be buffing it.
yeah, but he could be taking away their physical armor as well.
He has to physically be there, though.
Yeah. Well, it's a core Elder
You were
Titan.
talking
You
about
get
core
in
Elder Titan, I think, at the beginning of the second series today.
Yeah,
You were hyping it up.
because we saw Skylark make it popular last week. It was actually really good. And then we saw it a couple of times scattered throughout the week, and I think it did fairly well. It might not have won every game, but
I straight up think Seb's going to carry this game. This is the Axe version 2 of CI.
Because it ignores the Leshrac. It actually just owns Leshrac because you're high physical damage that you also get magic immunity from. So Leshrac doesn't do anything, and you can keep up with them as well, which is really nice.
The lane, I think, is going to be a stomp.
Yeah.
Literally.
we have to have a soundboard. This needed a badum.
Moxie's the bully.
You laughed at our jokes earlier.
Yeah, you
Moxie.
laughed
You're not
at
allowed
the
She laughed at your jokes. She never
70
laughed at my
Moxie.
jokes. What can I do?
So we think OG have the upper hand here. The Race King, does it have a shot?
No, they absolutely have a shot if he
Okay.
gets out of the lane surviving. I just think that if he has to get booted when Elder Titan's like level 5 and he's level 4, that there's just not going to be enough space to recover. Lesh is a pretty greedy mid.
All right, well, let's find out how game 2 played itself out. We're heading over to our commentary duo of Moxie and Fog.
Well, it looks like we're going to get to see a Seb Elder Titan. And Fog, I know that you are a huge fan of this particular hero. Tell me, what are we going to expect here?
Briefcase, much briefcase, lots of damage, much fun. No, it's a good pick here, especially with like the puck and the tiny. It amplifies their damage up a lot in the mid game, so I think it's going to be pretty potent. It is a pretty greedy draft, I do feel, from Smashers with the Underlord pick as well. This is a hero that you're playing your own lane for the most part. You're not going to go help out too much to those side lanes for some time. And Leshrac and Wraith King are just individually, they do have some greed between themselves. So we'll see how they do set up Seb to get out of control. And I think you really don't want that to happen for this Elder Titan.
No, you absolutely don't. This is, kind of similar to game number 1 where Rasmus really had to pop off on the axe. This is going to be OG here with Seb, of course, having to pop off on this Elder Titan and really, start making that tempo here. But they do have a nice ward over here on the side. They can spy out quite a bit. Nice stroke of fate landing over on 2 right away. Saksa. It's just gonna...
Quite toss. He's trying.
He's just a little tiny in a big world. That is a very heavy Underlord that he was chasing.
This is true. What's our rune exchange? Looks like Smashers should get 3. So a little bit of a decent, a little bit of a better start. However, we did see, I think, the other day when the team grabbed 4 bounty runes, they actually lost the series. So that was a little bit of a dice. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
That is a nice way to get started, but sometimes you just can't keep up that nice start.
And they are going to be doing exactly what we said. They're going to be putting the Underlord and the Abaddon bottom. Love it. I think this is way better, but look at what they're going to actually start out for with OG. They're actually going to have Saksa start out bottom as well to try to do some tossbacks. They do this a lot when they have a greedy carry that is going to struggle versus like something like an Underlord, this heavy, high base damage hero. They tend to start out tri-lands when they see this. So they're going to try to set up Ana for success because Ana, he's got a 20 base damage differential to Under, so they do have to help.
About to say, a lot of the times currently when OG is playing, it feels like it's a bit of a 4 protect 1 sort of deal. Thompson is always, the one who's kind of making those plays early, trying to just be very annoying. But at the end of the day, it is very much, on his shoulders.
That does mean that Seb, though, is not going to get that farm that we were saying that he probably will up top, since it's going to be that tiny securing farm for Spectre. So maybe he will have a bit of a slower one. As we've seen them, like I said, we've seen them do this quite a lot. Just leave Seb on an island, they secure that tri-lane farm, then they make the moves later on once the Spectre or X-greedy hero does get away with what he wants.
Now, I know, like, with some of the teams, you generally want to empower the hero that's going to be coming online earlier, right? So in this case, I would definitely say that that would be Seb, although hold that thought because the action's coming out here on the bottom lane. Photic Shield being used over here by Tofu, but Ana on the hunt, he's going to be able to collect that first blood. And are they going to try to get anything else here? Stroke of Fate over onto Rasmus. They really are just kind of struggling here. Rasmus trying to move, trying to get some of this damage off, just getting those spells down, but eventually, No Tail will collect a kill.
Yeah, so I think it really is just it is just enabling Spectre. Otherwise, he gets like nothing down here versus Underlord. So they're just gonna actually stick with the 3 of them. Tofu TP's back. He's just dead. He went alone.
That's yeah. Even our observer, I don't think, was quite expecting that.
No, and now Rasmus, he's an Underlord down bottom without an Abaddon to TP to help him. So he has to just be careful of his positioning. If there's mana on the 2 supports, he can die. And they are going to successfully pull the lane back with a single pull, looks like. No-Tail should be able to do that one. And 1 melee creep actually gets through, so it's actually going to be able to deny most of that wave. This bottom lane is going to be a problem now for Rasmus.
I mean, you've got to do the walk of shame back down there if you're the Abaddon, and it's a lot of time where Rasmus just can't approach at all. He's not going to be able to get any sort of farm. Top lane, though, they are trying to make some
stuns.
Trying to make some things happen on Seb, but like you said, when you stack the stuns, you're not going to get that optimal amount of damage down.
Yeah, you can't be making those type of mistakes. You're heavily crushing the CS, which is fantastic right now for HELLBEAR Smashers, but this is an ETU who's now level 3. He's gotten away with, I feel like, more than he should have up top by himself.
Toss back right over to No-Tail. He's got that ink swell on him. It's going to proc not quite enough damage here, though. Again, they follow up with that Aphotic Shield. But look at the way that they're zoning here. This is just free farm for the Spectre to do pretty much whatever she likes, because every time they get a little too close, they immediately get punished. Look at the Soxa already pincering into position. Toss up with the avalanche. It's the stroke of fate. Photic Shield does buy them a bit more time, and looks like Ana's gonna back off here, just go back to farming creeps, and No Tail does have to be a little bit careful. He is getting chased down here by Tofu, but he's gonna go safely back to his tower.
It really is such an interesting approach to see, like, just because they really want to secure, they're keeping the tri-lane even still, clarity up on the side with Soxa, No Tail also with the Bassi for that mana regen. They're just gonna keep trying to pressure and just kill this Underlord.
Soxa has the Ing Swell, waits patiently, will be able to go land over onto Rasmus again. They have that Aphotic Shield tossed back, though, into the Avalanche, right over to Ana, as No Tail chipping away as well. Tofu doing everything he can, trying to push them back. That Firestorm does hurt, so Soxa has to back off a little bit, but meanwhile, in the top lane, they do manage to find the kill on Seb. So they are making strides in that top lane, despite the fact that this bottom lane is just so difficult. Tofu maybe staying just a little bit too long, does have the shield, though. The Sal will be used on Rasmus.
Really interesting approach. It's just sacking Seb, hoping he gets the best. He's gotten a lot. He dies, but they are securing that farm. You see Spectre with 18 last hits to Underlord's 11. That like almost never happens when it is Spectre versus something. Just look at his base damage. So that's the whole reason to why they're doing it, and we are starting to see, you know, Smasher just come out a bit more ahead out of this because the Wraith King is getting absolute free farm.
Do you like the way that they've decided to just, you know, I don't want to say put all the eggs in the basket, but the way that they're playing, just really trying to protect Ana, make sure that he can get all that farm? Or do you think they should be helping Seb?
It's a decision they made, right? It's what they just, it's the way that they like to play. They like making sure that Ana has a good start when he plays Greed. So, you know, it's a different approach from each team. So if it ends up working, it's great. If they end up having this like Slark or this Spectre having a good item timing on like Blade Mail and just gets this super farm, then absolutely, it's gonna.
All right, working his way over there, and see Soxa did make a little bit of a rotation over towards that mid, but he's headed right back here again. They're trying to contest this little bit of a pull. Ana's making his way over here to the shop's gonna get his Ring of Health, so that's going to enable him to stay in the lane a little bit easier. It's Tofu. He's rotating over to this mid lane.
They're double securing bounty. They're double securing the rune for the Lash. Stormstormer's already having a pretty good time. Soxa
gets the avalanche off here. But Gilgear will snap up the Invis rune. Bottom lane, some more plays trying to get done here, but again, not quite enough damage without that tiny.
And now Gilgear, Invis, he's just sitting around the mid lane. If Thompson steps up too far, they can definitely chain stun and kill him. Thompson being quite cautious. And it means that Seb now in a solo matchup versus a super farm break. It doesn't feel easy for Seb.
Dream Coil followed up with the avalanche toss back as they've got their eyes over here on this Leshrac. They want to burn him down, but they're not quite able to as they end up losing Soxa and Thompson as they turn right back around and find No Tail. The positioning coming out and the lockdown is just so good. Meanwhile, the bottom lane here, this is not looking very good here for Ana, although he's going to try to just throw out the dagger, slow him down. He's going to run away. What a rotation, though, coming out from the Smashers.
And just a little bit of maybe unfortunate, but also just not the best targeting decisioning coming out from OG. They tried to go for both. They tossed and stunned the Abba to break the coil. Because of that, they didn't have the burst to kill the Lash, so the Lash kills everybody. Pretty big mistakes from OG and some nice rotations from Smashers to enable this Lash, who's already having such a good start.
Soxa making his way up.
He's even TPing bottom, and he's going to refill up Rasmus with the bottle too, and look to actually kill Ana here. This could be a really nice move for Stormstormer.
We'll open up with Pit of Malice, followed up with Storm, and there's just so much damage coming out from Leshrac. He just helps rip him down as Rasmus gets the final hit, and down goes Spectre.
A lot of the tower.
Yeah,
they kill the Spectre, and they give the mid lane to the supports, which they would love that experience. Some excellent stuff from Smashers. Already 3K advantage.
It's a lot of damage placed on that bottom tower.
And the glyph was forced. So now the second go, Stormstormer is going to clear this wave. This tower is just dead if OG doesn't set up a massive defense. Edict will just kill it. Here we go.
TP coming in from Ana. Jump immediately with the silence. He'll get the Pit of Malice off, though. They're going to back off. He's just going to take off that Phantom's Embrace. And they do protect their tower a little longer. There's a nice double damage rune over here that Topson, I'm sure, would love to pick up.
That's actually pretty heads up. You know, they don't kill the Lesh, but they push him away from the tower, and they're going to keep this tower alive for Ana for quite a lot longer. It's a cool play. Even though they don't get the actual kill, they just force him away. I like that.
I mean,
now, because of this, Topson forces in mid, and Tofu has to be careful because of Tiny hanging around.
Is the benefit of having a hero that can clear out waves, as they are going to try to slow down Rasmus and get the Inkspell to connect. Topson's here. He's got the double damage. They've got the silence as well, as the Waning Rift comes in hot. Body blocks coming out too, and No Tail will eventually be the one to get the kill. But those are some earn charges coming over here for Topson.
And he can steal a bounty away, level 8, and he's got this DD. He can actually swing mid because he still has Dream Coil available. Actually bringing Seb, who's level 7 somehow.
Nice stomp landing over here on the Leshrac. Tofu immediately removing it. Topson getting position. He is going to settle here for, of course, Tofu, who is leashed up and will get taken down.
That's just the 5 of Baden. Who cares about him? Get your Leshrac away. Gilder has already hit 6 on the Lion pretty early on, and Stormstormer already making another move on top. No-Tail just keeps it down.
Yep, and looks like Rasmus may be teleporting right here to his death. The Soxa being in position already. The teleports are coming out, though. Trying to go for that stomp, and there it is. It's the final hit. More teleports coming out. Ace did manage to take a tower while this was going on. He does have his armlet.
Just being very active. The Lesh just moving from lane to lane with this Max Edict. He can easily just take out these towers. Mid tower is super low too. Topson.
Oh, Ace takes down Soxa while this is going on. The chase is on now over here on Seb. Topson can't do too much other than the slides because they burst him down. The Haunt comes out. Be able to get the kill on Stormstormer, perhaps diving just a bit far. It's a nice Earth Spike. Tofu is going to try to keep Gilgear alive. Does have that Spirit chasing after him.
He didn't finish the tower off either. It's actually at 30 HP. It's still alive in the mid lane. It's diving a bit too far. Did cost the Haunt, but well worth it for OG, just taking out this pesky Lesh who's been quite problematic.
And still protecting this one.
Thinking about it.
Well, they will, eventually.
Yeah.
Tower has been denied.
Bottom lane, the teleports are coming out. They want Rasmus. Bit of Malice, but the Avalanche already connecting with the stop, the sleep, the burst is there, and now they'll turn their attention right over to Stormstormer, who he's doing a lot of damage. Soxa almost falling there, but Topson will collect a kill. Finger coming out from Gilgear, though, will be able to remove Topson from this equation.
Oh no, Stormstormer, after having such glorious rotation, such a great start, back-to-back deaths as soon as he TP's out. That's still quite painful. At least they get Topson. They got for Gilgear.
Yeah, whoa, No Tail needing to be a bit careful here. That's a lot of damage coming out from Ace. As Tofu just pulling here in the bottom lane as the Photic is just chasing down Seb. Does have Gilgear nearby, so Seb does have to be a little bit careful, but looks like they want to focus on this tower.
The 5 of Baden chasing away the 3 Elder Titan. Love to see it. As bottom tower might also just get denied. OG might just go for this one too.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
You can see some pincering coming out, perhaps trying to make some moves here over onto Seb. Ace, pincering. Immediately the Hex comes out. We bide their time, Earth Spike, and a couple big old crits. Even use the Rayfire Blast. Tofu taking the last hit on that. I don't think that was necessary, but
he says thanks at least.
That's true. Good manners are important. Manners maketh man. Rasmus, though, top lane. He's got the Inkswell, the silence there, just chasing down this poor Underlord. He is not getting any breathing room with the Phantom's Embrace. The toss-up, Soxa cleaning up on Rasmus.
Oh, and he had his hood in his backpack.
Oh, no.
He has actually the hood in his inventory. Maybe he pops it and he has the time for Tofu to save him, but that is a big slip of Rasmus, also dying back-to-back a couple of times now, as these Ancients and hard camp stacks now start to get worked on by Ana.
Ooh, there's a chipped vest that just got found. Do have the mask, though, on the Spectre currently.
He's probably going to take the chip. It's just the value.
Ace waiting off over on the side. Does get spotted out, though, by the Spirit. Looks like they'll back off for now. And Seb will be allowed to hit some creeps.
And Seb's gone for the 2-2-4 build, actually liking it because he can't get into the faces of them so much. He just wants to buff up the magic damage. 4 points in that aura, lots of magic damage on them as well. Let's go.
Ooh, he breaks the smoke. Doesn't look like that. I mean, they're slowing him down. I think they really wanted to get the jump on someone else here.
He just gets the stun off during the toss, and he ends up living because of it.
Yep.
That was sick.
Top lane, Spectre poking away here on Tofu. Doesn't feel very good when you're just getting chased down like this, but eventually, Ana will back off. Tofu's just gonna go and dig himself a little hole here, find himself something yummy.
Yeah, he's got Tranquil Boots. He'll just chill, wait till those come back active. He's just taking the scary place to farm right now in this Abaddon while his team is looking to make the move over to help him out. Gilger as well as Ace, they have Finger online. They can get the initial stun onto Ana. Very likely they can just finish.
Gotta just not stack those stuns though, right? The Haunt immediately coming out though, realizing that something feels a bit off as they do get a Dream Coil over onto mid, but the Hex is just able to control Ana, so he's not gonna be able to join into this fight over here as Rasmus, he is ticking down. It's another kill for Tops, and Stormstormer's on his way, and they do have the Yule to get the Soulbind off. Soxa, though, he is just burning to all of these spells coming out from Leshreq, and hey, look at that, beautiful. A nice double damage rune available now for Stormstormer.
You couldn't ask for a more precise hit there from Smashers. It's literally as Ana is haunting away, they get the kill. Like that's picture perfect. It's a 2+ minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes where that haunt is gonna be down. Yeah, that was really, really nice hit by them. Now that means Ace is just gonna be enabled to have a much earlier Radiance timing than anything else. Spectre is gonna have some problems.
Yeah, Ace is getting closer and closer to that relic. He's had a lot of room here to be able to breathe. Let's see, though. Let's see, because the last game, you know, Smashers, they were looking very, very good. They were getting everything they needed on Rasmus early. They're making the right moves, but eventually it just reached a certain timing where they weren't able to keep up the momentum. So what do they need to do now? What do they need to do to keep up this momentum and keep the pressure going?
I think the state of the game is actually pretty good for them. Just like chilling out, they're farming up really good on all their cores. Hunting the Spectre like that was the ideal. So I think if they could do that again in the next like 80 seconds or so when Finger's back up, that's great. But right now, they're okay with like just chilling out. If heroes show in the side lanes, they can threaten them. But this is a fantastic start for the Wraith. And Ace, you know, I do feel like he's much more comfortable. Like just Wraith King Ricky, that hero just feels a little weird. Like overall as a carry, he's not the best. And I feel like Ace, he's just not really the most comfortable with something. Much better on a traditional carry.
Well, he definitely looked excellent last season, so definitely excited to see how far they can go here in, of course, the upper division. A Blink Dagger does get picked up on Soxa, though, so positioning is going to be very, very important here, as he's going to be able to initiate quite nicely as Ana makes his way down towards this bottom area, and there's some pressure being placed on top, though, coming out from OG in the meanwhile. Well, we got an Uber service, though, coming out here. Looks like everybody's headed up. They're looking to try to protect this.
Gilger has his blink coming out on the Lion 2 in a moment, flying out on the Courier. So they have a great way to set up these fights now.
I don't think they'll wait for it, though.
Standing under a ward.
Yeah, he really is as he walks right into Ace. Couple big hits, 1, 2, 3. Down goes No Tail. And it looks like they do manage to get the tower during all this.
They've got some good timings here. They also have Rasmus finishing up a pipe in a moment, too, versus this puck. Pretty huge as Gilger. He jumps up on high ground, but a little early.
Just a little bit. Dream Coil does get used, but it doesn't seem like they... Yeah, look at this. They have the protection here coming out from Tofu. Thompson, they're looking, hoping maybe someone will get a little bit out of position as Soxa does reveal himself, but they'll turn their attention now over here towards this this tier 2. A lot of TPs, though.
Force the coil. That's pretty sweet for Gilger. Just jumping into the high ground blindly.
Not usually something you want your supports to do.
No.
But it worked out this time. Tofu.
Scary for him.
It's very tanky. Gonna immediately throw out the Aphotic Shield. They're gonna be leashed up. They'll use the Haunt, and they've got the Silence. This is gonna be possibly, yes, it's gonna be a first-time death here for that Wraith. He's coming right back up again. He needs people to go and help him out. Nice split Earth being tossed down in the middle of everything, and there's gonna be able to just hold on into place. Soxa jumping onto the back lines, though. It's able to take down Stormstormer with a little help here from Thompson. Now Tofu, they have the vision. Thompson gets himself a double kill, as the rest of the side of Smashers are just on the back foot.
Stormstormer's still very vulnerable. He's so squishy. He actually went for the Kaya with the Yule, so he doesn't actually have any HP bonus to protect himself. He's gonna just be completely reliant on the pipe from Rasmus and the shields from the Abaddon. That's a scary place to put yourself in. Not even like a casual cloak or something like that to guard himself versus all this magic damage. I don't know. I'm a little worried now for Lash. I think the Wraith King's gonna have an excellent game, but this Lash I feel like could just chain die. The ET Spirit on top of him with a tiny combo, and he's just dead. 1200 HP does not save him at this point.
Coil followed up with Sox off a toss. Gilgear's here though, and he does manage to go and they just control Thompson.
Nice.
Down goes the puck, and they're still hunting. They're looking for more here, realizing they have a little bit of a window. They do spot out Soxa, and they're going to rip down this ward, make the side of OG a little blinder here around this area.
Gilger on points per usual, 3-0-4. Excellent game so far from this line.
Especially when you consider we thought he was definitely dead. Seb, though, over in the mid lane. We talked about this positioning. They just have so much damage. They'll find the kill on the Elder Titan.
OG getting caught off guard there a bit here. Just stepped up a little bit too far to farm, and this is just the enable Ana now at this point, really, just because of how they're getting picked off also on Thompson. Like it's back to like the usual OG, I would want to say. It's just make this Spectre the absolute full carry. Just keep looking for the big pops though. So I'm still gonna be watching Soxa, the ET Spirit. This Lashrak has to be so careful with his positioning because he can just die almost instantly. I want him to get either the vitality booster or point booster ASAP because he's very frail right now.
And there's only so much that really, you know, the Sabaton can do to keep him alive, right? You know, it's a little bit difficult because their initiation's a little strange coming out on the side of Smashers. There's no traditional jump like you would normally see in some of their drafts.
And their save it's very short distance. So Madden playing versus Grimstroke, you're gonna either get leashed in double silence, or you're gonna get silence from Puck. It can be a little bit tough to ask Tofu to get all those saves out on Stormstormer. Does pick up the vitality booster. 1600 HP now.
Ooh, they find Ana. The jump forward with the Earth Spike, Pit of Malice. Ace just chopping away over here. Do they have enough burst damage? Oh, yes, they do. They take down the Spectre. It's a beautiful drink coil though over on the back lines with that X-Bow connecting on multiple targets. Look at them just chasing them down. No Tail now forced to just try to hide in the trees. He's not going to be able to, as Tofu's trying everything he can to try to keep him alive. Meanwhile, the back lines though, Thompson poking away over at Tofu. That ultimate will of course proc as Thompson's hunting the buyback now coming out from Lion. They've got the E-Blade. They're trying to just blow up the support. Need to be careful here. Ace was looking to wind up there with the Wraithfire Blast. Is not going to be able to get it off in time as they realize on the side of Smashers we should probably back up.
I actually like this buyback from Gilger just in case, even though it doesn't get them anything, it pushes away those three from just diving forward and just killing Ace and Tofu probably twice. So I do like that he does go for that there. They gotta be careful, they're stacking. They stacked up so hard for the combos, the tiny Avatos, the Ink Swell, 4-man stomp from ET and Splitter. They do have to be a little bit more careful when they do that.
We do have the blink picked up now for the Wraith King, so we talked a little bit about how the initiation's a bit tricky here. It looks like he is going to be the one who's going to be running on in with his face, but you have to be careful with the Wraithfire Blast done, right? Because of the fact that it is very telegraphed.
Yeah, he does need follow-up though. They want to be able to just like insta-lock down someone with Gilger and just kill them immediately with a finger, because there's no real saves on the side of OG to be able to protect any of it. So they can erase heroes right away at the start.
They want Thompson. They want him so badly, and already though, gonna go up to the high ground, sees the bounty rune. Ace considering it, but looks like not going to hard commit here. Aphotic shield over on Ace trying to protect him. The jump forward here coming out from Sox with the Avatos. Tofu trying to get in position, trying to keep him alive. It's Ace chasing after him over on the back line, so they will find 7. They've got the Inkswell. They do have the shard on him, so he's gonna be able to heal up quite a bit. So he'll turn right back in. Dream Coil gets used over on the back. We talked about Stormstormer. He needs to be able to stay alive as they get a nice splitter offset though. Will fall. He's gonna back off. Finger getting used on the back lines. Will be able to take down Thompson. And now Ace, he's all silenced up. Ana running away here. They still have the reincarnation too. AC wants it. He's chasing after them. He finds himself No-Tail. The stomp coming through does manage to land. Radiant's burn though definitely hurts as No-Tail's trying to hide in the tree line. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it though. Not with that firestorm.
It comes at a price.
Oh, and Gilgear's just poking away over here at Soxa. Maybe a little bit too far away from the rest of the team here, but it looks like OGs, they're a little bit too nervous. They're not going to follow up on poor little Gilgear here.
Top tower is under attack.
They're really on point with the way they're getting these catches. Gilger over and over again, just getting Thompson. He's got his number this game. The Lion counter usually versus the Puck. This time OG, they did take that Puck into Lion, and Gilger might be making them regret it a bit there. He's constantly getting these disables, and it's the way that they postured themselves in the fight. If they start to retreat, you can see where OG is just going to be able to like explode these heroes with the splitters and all that, but because they all stick together as a unit and actually run into the fight, it puts OG on this this weird positioning in the fight that they have to kind of just run away with the ET, puck goes in, and the rest of his team just bails on him. Great awareness from Smashers. Actually take the fight rather than looking to run him.
Definitely Gilgir's positioning has been absolutely wonderful this game. So it is difficult to get your hands on that puck, and you know that Thompson, he likes to play this hero. He wants to, you know, dive in and out, but it just always feels like the Smashers kind of have his number.
Yep. The way Thompson always plays is just, it's super aggressive and it's super disruptive. So if Gilgir is in these right places at the right time, it's going to break a lot of OG's annoyance that does happen in a lot of these games that causes Ana to just reap havoc and get these crazy farms. If he's just controlling Thompson's chaos, it's definitely going to work out for them. So now 7K gold lead, this Wraith King, 4K above the next. Looking really good for them right now.
Seeing some of the TPs coming out now. Ace jumping forward immediately, sees Ana. He's not going to focus him down, though. He's got his eyes on Sox, but instead Avalanche coming through. That Inkswell healing him up. They're chasing. Seb over here trying to teleport out. They do manage to find themselves No-Tail, though. He's not going to be able to teleport away, but it looks like the Spectre and Soxa will be able to survive. As everybody's hopping in the bus, and we're going top. Ta-da!
I like this. They know that they're going to go play around this triangle side. They still have these two wards covering the area too. They can swing and find Ana for sure. Ana does have Haunt available. He's about to buy his ulti orb. Know exactly where he is.
Going forward here.
Oh, he went left. They went up.
Did indeed.
A prize.
Nice attempt with the Uber.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Still going to place some pressure here over on this tier 2. Thompson now picking up that blink on the puck, so perhaps, you know, we talked about his chaos. Gonna be able to make a little bit more this time around and perhaps get a bit more information before Gilgir can jump on him. Getting very close to Axe 2 here for Seb, so that should change things a little bit in these fights.
Yeah, that should make Seb actually be able to be a walking force in the fights rather than just a stomp and a splitter. He'll actually be able to do something and contribute a little more. Gilgir also pointing out he's hit level 15, so the line does get, it's only 4 stacks, but every little thing matters. 280 extra HP might be enough for him to live.
Kid crushed it coming out. Oh, the finger immediately. Well, that's going to be a little bit more stacks here, Fogged.
There we go, 5 now.
All right. Getting more swole over on that lion. Pressure's on over here. How did they get in here, though? All right, the toss back immediately. Again, silence up. They're holding Ana in place. They've got that Inkswell, though. It's doing plenty of damage, but Tofu trying to save him alive. No, nice Streaming Coil on the back lines as well, holding them into place. Stormstormer trying to get out as much damage as possible here, as Gilgir is just trying to drain all this mana. Just slowly but surely. Yes, you can't do anything to him other than poke him when that's going on. Jump into the back lines here from Thompson. We talked about that chaos. The Haunt's coming out, but okay, yes, Ana going forward here. Nice avalanche, but he's a little bit too far. He's not comfortable here. I don't think they're going to be able to. No, the toss up coming up from Soxa, trying to keep him alive. It looks like he is going to be the one who's going to have to die, though.
Oh, he lives because of the Manta dodge on the split earth. He actually would have died for sure on Ana.
Oh.
Jumping in again with
They
Thompson.
are indeed, and they managed to go and grab the puck at the last second. Stroke of Fate tossed out. They're focusing on the buildings.
Oh, I love seeing Gilgir. He puts the shard to use there perfectly, just stands in front of a Tiny with his just mana drain, and Tiny can't do anything. He's magic immune.
Another Inkswell. They stacked up a little tight here, and they do have the Blade Mail. Another Split Earth, though, coming in on it. He's not looking too great right now as a dive in over onto the back lines. A stop buys a bit more time, but they do. They take down Ana, and they take down Thompson. No buyback on the Spectre. No buyback on this puck. HELLBEAR Smashers hitting fast, furious, and just hitting very, very hard right now as they immediately make their way down over to the bottom racks.
They should be able to go for this one too. Gilgir doing just clutch plays across the whole board of this game. The mana drain to stand on the high ground to bait some spells where they can't kill him. Then this last stun, he stuns Ana, and Thompson blinks on top of the stun, so he gets caught by it, gets chain hexed, gets killed. And Ace just jumps forward and gets himself an easy no-tail.
Very well played here, coming out from Smashers. He's stuck in the back. Yeah.
And just gets stunned instantly.
They're gonna finish up the racks. Oh, they cancel out the Uber. They've decided that they want to stay here, and they'll get themselves a Soxa.
Very clean. 11-0-6 on Ace, looking much more comfortable on Wraith King. The whole team looking phenomenal on OG. They do get the Ags on the ET, but I think we may have reached a point where that Ags isn't going to have the effect that I think OG wants it to.
I think I'm just concerned with the amount of damage that's being dumped out here coming out from Ace. And I have to say, you know, it's tough for Tofu. We talked about the fact that he is going to be, you know, primary save. And he does have to be very, very close, but he's managing it. And Gilgir's positioning has just been fantastic here. Seb, look at Gilgir. He's eager. You have to be a little careful, though. They're going to focus up on the objectives here on the side of HELLBEAR Smashers. Middle tower will go down. Do they want to push their luck here? Do they go back in, or do they play it a little safe?
They are so strong right now, rallied around this. The Lesh now has reached points where he can't get burst. Bloodstone, Essence Ring, all this good stuff. Rasmus with the pipe and Crimson Guard. The damage just feels like it's nowhere near going to be there for OG. I am actually not really thinking they're going to kill many Heat targets at all. Maybe not even the supports in these next few fights.
Well, they're smoked up, and they're hoping that they can get someone. I mean, Tofu and Rasmus are very far forward. Lion, Gilgir. Perhaps they can make something happen there. They get the Dream Coil off and the Soul together, but No-Tail immediately just absolutely crumbling as there's just so much damage, and the Earth Splitter not quite landing where they wanted to. They have a nice Dream Coil. Stormer buying himself just a little bit more time. Seb punching, trying to do everything. They just can't take down this Lion, as eventually they take down Seb. Ana already falling. Thompson somehow still alive, and over there the finger comes out, and down goes Thoxa. Only Thompson.
The support. With every single spell thrown out there, the Crimson Guard, the pipe, all these heals from Tofu as well with the shield and the Apasha and Mist Coil, they can't kill anybody. Even though they throw absolutely every spell, Gilgir gets the initial blink to reposition himself with his team on the high ground.
Dagger, Gilgir jumping forward immediately. The E-Blade, though, coming out from the puck, hoping that they can blow off Gilgir, but they just can't seem to do it. And again, he's got that magic immunity. They just start draining all the mana. Down goes Ana. No buyback for 78 seconds. Rasmus. Yeah. There's the GG. HELLBEAR Smashers, 22 net worth lead, have managed to take down OG. They came from the lower division, and they're looking pretty good here in the upper now.
Yeah, this was a really good display, and just I think they should stick to their guns of just giving Ace these like hard carries rather than him playing something not traditional that he's not comfortable with, like that Ricky. They looked really good rallied around him, and honestly, Gilgir, my God, these stuns, these hexes, absolutely on point, and just the quick reactions. That jump, so that wraparound there where OG's going for the play in mid, they're trying to catch that Lion so badly. Gilgir gets the initial blink off to reset versus Haunt. The puck has to jump it, disarray into high ground, and it's just an excellent fight for Smashers there. He denies the range creep. There you go. That's how you get him. Good job, Seb. Yeah, I love seeing this. Like, they just can't push. Both of them tank heroes standing against each other. Ana jumps on the high ground.
They have the... Oh, they did it! They managed to go and land the fear! A nice play here coming out from Smashers.
Great Sunstrike for the vision.
All right, well, that's a little time here for the Smashers to be a bit more aggressive, knowing that Ana is not farming during this time, and more pressure in the mid lane. Saksa trying to put out some of that poison.
Seb has Blink Dagger. This could catch Smashers a bit off guard here. They're really trying to push forward for this tower. Tomb is down. Tomb is down.
They don't have tops in here, though. They've got the bubble up.
No.
Troll's getting very, very close though to that Ags. Rasmus whacking away. Tower will go down in mid. And
nice.
Smashers seem satisfied with that. Tofu gonna take the opportunity to drop a ward or two off to the side. But there it is. There's the Ags on the Troll.
All right, I mean, he's got so many different things to dispel, as we were saying before. You know, all of the Willow spells that are annoying, Cold Snap, whatnot. So it's going to be a pretty strong pickup. We've seen him do it in the past, and someone on the panel said this. Troll's going to go Mage Slayer. He's going Mage Slayer.
Yeah, I think it was the Banana Slamma Jamma who said, just get a Mage Slayer. Easy.
He's done it in the past. Sure, you're playing versus like only magic damage. There's really just like no physical that's coming out on the HELLBEAR Smasher side. So if he wants this to be a deterrent, just to make his anti-mage go berserk in the game, sure. Go for this, then get your shard later on, get a rampage for your AM too. That's what the ability is called, not the 5 kills, of course.
Tofu is trying to, and he does eventually break the smoke. You're okay with this, I think, if you're Smashers, because this is, of course, your position 5, who's still alive, actually. They haven't managed to kill him off.
He's tanky.
A very nice Tornado EMP. The disruption comes out here from Sox. They're going to try to buy them just a little bit more time here. They'll get a TP rotation. Drop the tome. But again, when you have nothing to hold people in place, they're just able to just saunter on out and reset after this is over. Although Rasmus is waiting, looking to see if he can find him, and does run into No-Tail, so they'll get the Pit of Malice off, and they'll go and use the Stampede to run him out. They're not willing to take this engagement, not at this time.
All time for Ana. You know, he's got Battle Fury. He's getting this farm online. It's going to start getting to scary points for Smashers pretty quickly. See Stormstormer, he's queuing up the Midas. He knows he needs to be able to scale into these later stages versus this AM, but yeah, OG's just kind of dancing around them for the moment.
Tempest double down here, just clearing up some creep waves as the real ace, of course, is in the top lane.
That is the nice thing about Arc Warden. At least you're denying some farm from the enemy carry too, because you are taking farm from the scary side of the map.
And they have There you go. There's your answer to your question, Fog. Right
Gets
now.
himself a freebie. Hey, still, he's keeping himself way above on that net worth for sure. I'm just wondering, like, when the fights do kick off, like, how's his positioning going to be? It's going to be hard because they're playing into Stampede. So I feel like it's going to be so crucial for him to stay so far in the back because they have so many ways to get on him, and he is so fragile. So I'm going to have to be watching, in particular, like Rasmus, just blanketing him. Like, Rasmus and Tofu have to protect this Arc Warden with their lives.
Well, I mean, we talked about this in the second game, right? We saw the Abaddon coming out, and it's very, very difficult, of course, for the melee, the melee heroes to be able to go and just get these saves out, get the heals. But Tofu did a great job in the last game, so.
Mm-hmm. And Soul Rip is just way longer cast range, so you can play further away. As another D ward. I didn't talk about it in the last game, but because it was like Smashers had such good fights and everything, but my god, the ward control by Tofu in this series is unbelievable. He seems to always know where OG's got their vision. He's winning the warding game in this series so far.
It's always fun to watch. I know Windstrike also does a lot of very unusual warding.
One sneaky ward right now inside the enemy triangle, so they do watch Stormstormer farming, and they are going to be aware, if they do see it, that he's gone for Midas. So greed raises greed.
They're invading, though. Tofu showing himself immediately. Gets slowed down, then there's that Pit of Malice, the root coming to play. Go and pop the flash golem, but it's a nice follow-up with that chaotic offering. But over on the back line, Stormstormer, nice disruption coming out. The Tofu is just circling around this area. He drops that tombstone, and he's just surviving somehow during all of this here. As Thompson, he's trying to just beat him down, but it's proving to be a bit too difficult as Thompson eventually does fall. They can't take down Tofu. He's too tanky. Now No-Tail is just trying to shuffle away as fast as possible. They've got the Atos, though, over here on Rasmus, so they should be able to get this kill on No-Tail.
What a boss, Tofu. Oh my god. The deafening blast to protect him too with the disarms, but mostly him just saving himself. He gets the Holy Locket, he gets the extra heals from the... Really nice. Seb?
They have the disruption at the very least. They'll protect. But he blinked forward? Blinked forward? I don't know. It was a little...
That's my new word.
I don't know. We'll go with it. We'll roll with it. But he definitely... put himself in a bit of a vulnerable position there if it wasn't for the Shadow Demon.
Yeah. Ace, he's got his...
Try to protect him. The Atos, man, they have a lot of just roots, like we said before. Stormstormer trying to interrupt there with a nice throw. Seb, it's taking a long time, but eventually they do manage to slay him.
He just couldn't move at all. My god, like just brambles the poor zombies beating on him as well. Thompson goes and starts hitting to him, and he's like, yeah, see you later, Seb. You're dead.
I'd rather not.
Yeah. But still, Ana is still farming on the sidelines of everything, though. It's still that scare, this anti-mage threat with your two cores who are very vulnerable to AM. It still is excellent core matchups for this anti-mage, all things considered. Even though Smashers, they've got this 7-4 lead. He joins the game.
This is interesting here. Do have the double damage over on Ace, but there are quite a few people off to the side. I'm not sure if they're quite aware of this, although walking underneath that ward, of course, will make them very aware.
Oh, they're going to be able to start the Roche.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Get the bubble up.
They killed it fast as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to quite make it there on time. They're on their way. I don't know about this, though. Final hit. Yeah, Ace is going to be the one who snatches it up, though. The Radiant get the kill on Rashad. No-Tail immediately evaporated, but he's already dropped the Chaotic Offering as Ana trying to jump in onto the back lines, and everyone's sitting low, but they don't just quite have enough damage here. So they'll turn right back around. Down goes Saksa, the Deafening Blast over here onto Ana. Over on the back lines, though, Thompson, he's trying to man-fight over here. Just going to be able to get the kill onto Tofu. Rasmus also sitting over into the bubble. The jump forward here coming up from Seb. They've got their eyes over onto Ace. They should be able to blow him up. Oh, Curse Crown, though, buys just a little bit more time as down he goes.
And they do, this is what I was worried. It's like when the Arc Warden shows up, sure, they get rushed, they get this Aegis and everything, but what does an Arc Warden do? And they just jump on him. They get on top of him, and Ana just